Starting day 2 of the summit, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and South African President Cyril Ramaphosa are joined by Brazilian President Lula da Silva, Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, and pose for a group photo. Leaders are turning to the main agenda points today after a speech on Tuesday by Russian President Vladimir Putin gave the gathering an anti-Western tinge. The BRICS group are debating whether to expand their bloc and allow in new members. I'm Charles Tulatesma.
The chairman of a group offering scholarships to female Afghan students to study abroad says the Taliban has prevented scores of women from traveling to the UAE for education. Townhall.com. The union for 340,000 UPS workers says members have approved a tentative contract.
The Teamsters say 86% of the votes cast were in favor of ratifying the contract. That's the highest vote ever in the history of the Teamsters at UPS. Going into the negotiations, Teamsters General President Sean O'Brien said a lot of people are profiting from the packages UPS delivers.
Now it's time to reward the people that touch those packages, the part-timers, the single moms, people that are working 2 or 3 jobs at poverty wages, and also the drivers that are out there providing goods and services.
In a statement, O'Brien says Teamsters have set a new standard and raised the bar. This is the template for how workers should be paid and protected nationwide. I'm Ed Donahue.
Stock futures higher ahead of this morning's Wall Street opening bell. The Dow futures are up 23 points. NASDAQ futures 30 points higher, and the S&P futures are up 5. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. Let's have a listen. What does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to it.
Yeah, buddy.
Kind of different out there.
It's
not
it's
sunny.
Nice.
It's a little overcast. To be
I
honest,
dig it.
What I'm looking at weather-wise today, we have a good chance of rain.
Yeah.
Just not a lot of it. If that makes sense.
Well, okay, so yesterday I was sitting in my car.
Yeah.
Both windows rolled down right when the storm started.
Yeah.
And my mind was like, should I roll my windows up? And then the other side of my mind was like, shut up. You've been sitting through 110-degree heat. Enjoy the rain.
Yeah.
So I stuck my arm out the window and was just let myself get rained on. It was kind of nice.
Rain on me. But
it's like falling sky water. It doesn't happen around here enough.
I think at my house it only did it for a minute. I was inside and I heard thunder.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, that's a good one. And I was like, that real thunder. I heard a couple of rolls. I was like, ooh. Then I heard rain for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then it all went away.
That's about what we got. I mean, honestly, it was a traditional New Mexico storm. It stormed light for a good solid 5 minutes, heavy for about 45 seconds, and then light on the other side.
Well, good. Well, we got a chance of more of that today.
It was weird, too, because it, rained, then it stopped, and then the heavy rain came.
Yeah.
And then the light rain. So it was it stopped for a second. So I wasn't sure if, I was out of the cloud.
Right.
I don't know.
Just it just moved for a minute. Well, I'll take it, even if it's not, enough.
Oh, absolutely.
Every little bit helps. So, but yeah, there's like 50% chance of rain today and tonight,
Nice.
but they're saying less than 1/10 of an inch unless like a storm rolls through.
So I heard this once, and I still struggle to understand it. But
Yeah.
when they say there's a 50% chance of rain, they mean that it will rain over 50% of the places that they're monitoring.
right.
It's not a 50% chance that it will rain, like
I know.
flip of a coin
I remember you
shot.
explaining it to me, but I still can't wrap my
I
head
know
around that.
it's one of those things like I don't understand it, so I'm just going to say it's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
That sounds
all I know
better.
is bigger number, bigger chance of rain.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I know.
Clouds,
Sounds like they're saving face. Like it's a cop-out answer.
right?
Well, that's weather. I mean, you could be wrong 90% of the time and still have a job and think you're good. And people's like, oh, they know their stuff.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we say they're wrong, but they're not wrong. They're just they didn't get it right where you're at. But
I wish
overall they usually get it right.
I wish I would have studied meteorology in college. I feel like that's like the platinum gig. I mean, you got a gig for pretty much for life.
Yeah.
You can be wrong in your job and nobody's going to judge you for it.
I have a cousin that went and got a degree in meteorology.
Yeah.
But he works for AT&T. He does nothing to do with his meteorology degree. But he went to college and his degree is in meteorology.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But he works as some kind of executive for AT&T.
Oh, well.
He does fine,
made
but
it
it
he made
has
it
nothing
somehow.
to do with weather, though.
See? That's why I should have been a meteorologist student, because the degree gets you everywhere.
Yeah.
I have a degree in meteorology. That's fine. Come engineer with us.
Yeah. Well, in all fairness, my cousin is one of those guys that's really good at numbers and things. So I don't know if it works out for everybody, just that's the way he is.
That's probably part of the education of like meteorology, is learning all the statistics and all the numbers.
Yeah, see, this is okay. His father is the famous Uncle Jimmy.
Well, yeah.
Uncle Jimmy of on his obituary, he wished Dan Snyder would sell the team. And
Sure. Who we all know, I mean, knows the numbers.
Yes.
Obviously.
Well, and this is my point of the story. Is
Mike's Uncle Jimmy.
When Uncle Jimmy, he of course he had the paper every day and he's looking at the horse numbers and all.
All right.
Well, when he had his young son for the first time, Dad and son were doing the numbers together. My cousin knows just as much about all that stuff as my Uncle Jimmy, because he literally spent his whole childhood doing this stuff.
Leave it to a genetic gambler to understand statistics. That makes sense.
Like my cousin could do, basic math through division, multiplication, all that, like before starting school, because of all
because he was working the numbers.
Yeah,
with Pop.
Yeah, he sat there with the paper and knew all that stuff.
That's pretty
before
cool.
he even went to kindergarten. He's already knowing basic math and
That's handy.
Yeah.
See, who says that problem gambling is an actual problem?
Yeah.
All right, take it back.
Yeah, Uncle Jimmy did him right, man. That's right.
We're porch monkey and problem gambling.
Wait, you can say that?
No, I can't.
No.
We're just going to glaze over it.
So, we do have a full slate.
We do.
Better get.
I was gonna say,
What's in the
on my way.
bag?
What's in the bag?
What do you got?
I know. I got a. I was on my way here and I stopped by at Stripes.
Okay.
And I noticed it's already begun.
What? Oh, no.
Pumpkin spice donuts.
Pumpkin spice donuts. It is August. What is it? 28th? 23rd?
Yeah, we're not even in September yet.
No, we're not.
It's like the
August
23rd.
23rd.
Yeah.
And we have hit pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
So,
darn you, Giant Deborah.
What? I don't like anything pumpkin spice to begin with.
I could take it or leave it. I'm not one way or the other.
I'm kind of like Roy. I'm not huge. I'm not a fan, but I'm not like opposed to it. It doesn't disgust me.
I'm not opposed to it, but I don't love it either.
In all fairness, I don't like them little donuts that much. Like in the donut world, those little Debbie donuts are not my favorite. Any flavor, doesn't matter what they are.
So, are you a mini donut fan still, or
Not
do you
really.
just prefer a brand?
I like Dunkin' and those kind of donuts. The store-bought little donuts, I don't mess with.
If you get like a good chocolate covered or powdered sugar like Hostess donut, those are the best.
Not a fan.
Really?
I mean, I'll eat them, but to me, they're pedestrian.
I like that they're called donuts. It's a real pleb food. I'll agree with you on that.
I'm just not into them. I'm like, I'd rather get my junk food in better ways.
Fair enough.
More pristine.
Right, I'm a little bougie on this.
More refined. Refined taste.
That's right.
I'd sit here and oppose, but I ate a plastic tub of lobster bisque for dinner last night, so I can't really oppose. I have crap taste. It's fine. I admit that.
I'm just wondering in 5 years if the pumpkin spice is going to start coming out in like July or something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure.
It'll be, you can get Christmas stuff in August, so why not pumpkin spice?
Mm-hmm.
Let me get, because we have a 35-minute interview to get going, so I need to get her done going here. We're going to replay an interview we had with John and Crystal Noble from Roswell Seed, talking about fall planting, things like that. So we're going to play that for you here in just a bit. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15 on Friday, Freddie Sosa from Richland joined us, talk a little bit about some of the stuff they've got coming up here and things, and just some deals and things going on. So, and they also tease an event they got coming up later in the month, too.
Nice.
But, and then in the 9 o'clock hour, 9:15, John from Oasis Computers joined us last week talking tech and updates. So we'll play that for you in the 9 o'clock hour. Folks heard my last time it was in the early 7 o'clock. So we'll get the late folks, the sleeping in folks, for him in the 9 o'clock hour.
It's a rerun, folks.
There you go. Plus all of your news and all that good stuff as well, too. Before we do any of that, let's take a look at your weather. Like I said, good chances of rain, just not a lot of it.
Bring it on.
Enjoy.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have some tropical air on the way, and that may bring us some showers and thunderstorms today. Partly sunny, and our afternoon highs in the low 90s. The wind will be a little gusty, around 25 miles an hour. Scattered showers and thunderstorms overnight, our low dropping to about 70, and then we'll be getting sunshine on Thursday, mid to upper 90s for the afternoon high. Maybe a few isolated showers. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 62 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is currently 76 here in Roswell. Humidity is at 62%. Winds are out of the south at 10 miles per hour. So there is a 50% chance of rain, and showers and thunderstorms. Actually, they say before 10 this morning, and then chances for this afternoon as well. So till about 10 this morning, and then after 1 today. They say mostly cloudy today, high of only 92. Southeast winds 10 to 20. They say new rainfall amounts is expected to be less than 1/10 of an inch unless we get a storm through the area. So it's like good chances, but probably not a lot of moisture. Tonight, the 50% chance of rain continues, mainly before midnight tonight. Mostly cloudy, looking at an overnight low of 69 degrees, below 70. That's always nice. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. They'll drop down 5 to 10 after midnight. Once again, less than 1/10 of an inch of rain expected unless we actually get a storm rolling through the area. Thursday, we're looking at a 20% chance of showers early, partly cloudy with an overnight low of with a high of 94. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour. 20% chance for Thursday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 70. And then Friday, not talking of rain, just sunny, high of 99. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10. So football should be rain-free. Partly cloudy Friday night, overnight low of 70. Saturday, sunny and a high of 98. And then 20% chance of rain on Sunday, mostly sunny and 98 there. And then looks like we got rain chances after Sunday every day. It's at least through Tuesday of next week. 30% Sunday night, 50% chance of rain Monday and Monday night, a 50% chance of rain on Tuesday. Highs around 90 on Tuesday. I like that. We'll see how that shapes up. All right, 7:17, we're going to take a 2-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with John and Crystal Noble from Roswell Seed. Don't go away.
Roswell Skin Center, a brand new state-of-the-art facility located in the 400 Penn Plaza building here in Roswell, is now accepting new patients. Dr. Brandon Cometti and his team offer a full range of skin care services, including general dermatology, surgical and cosmetic procedures, including cutting-edge laser rejuvenation, Botox, filler, laser hair removal, chemical peels, and other non-invasive options to improve skin health and turn back the hands of time. Call and schedule your appointment at Roswell Skin Center today, 208-2509. That's 208-2509.
The lot at Roswell Ford is fully loaded, and that means savings across the lot on both new and pre-owned vehicles. with 0 down, no payments for 90 days, and 0.9% APR on select vehicles across the lot. Plus, brand new Broncos, Bronco Raptors, F-150s, and Super Duty Ford trucks. The Roswell Ford pre-owned lot is layered deep with great low-mileage vehicles, including Challenger, Corvette, Broncos, F-150s, and
good
more.
morning. It is 20.
Worried about your credit score? Well, worry no more. With a job bringing home just $3.99 a week, Roswell Ford's aggressive lenders will push to get you
Mike Winters.
And Roswell Ford will take any trade,
And
any
good morning.
condition, even if you owe thousands more than your car's value.
Mike Winters.
Hurry to Roswell Ford today because the rebates, discounts, and savings have never been bigger. All happening now at Roswell Ford, the home of Tailgate Nation at the corner of 9th and Main.
You bought a dining table, not a Lego set. So why are your chairs wobbly and the second your great Aunt Bertha bumps the corner of the table, you're cleaning up spills? This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. A quality dining set doesn't need you to rebuild it after every meal. It doesn't need spa dates or expensive gifts every time you need it to perform for fancy dinners. Here at Glenn's, we have a wonderful selection of dining sets in stock, and the quality speaks for itself. Come see us on Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants use these skin folds on their bodies to crush mosquitoes. Mike Winters uses his to hide M&Ms. Here's Mike Winters.
Now, good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us now officially in studio, John and Crystal Noble, wearing their Roswell seed hats today. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are y'all doing? And they brought a
here.
friend, too. I forgot to introduce.
Yeah, we have our niece
Jade.
with us.
And Jade is a Great Dane, beautiful, gray and black Great Dane, shy as all get out.
She's like, I'm comfortable, I'm laying on the floor.
She came over and sniffed my hand for a minute, let me touch her nose for about 3 seconds, and then said, I'll be back over with my relatives here.
However, Sean with the ice cream, she was very intrigued about Sean and the ice cream.
Although, with that, because it doesn't have chocolate in it, she'd probably be all right with that ice cream, I'm thinking,
The
right?
seasonings in it might cause issues.
It's rich. That might be. It's too rich for her blood, probably. That would be.
Typically, like when you give dogs ice cream, it's like the soft serve vanilla.
Okay.
Or you get the doggy ice cream.
So I got to ask you guys, because we've talked about eating dog treats all the time. Have y'all tried doggy ice cream?
It's disgusting.
Is it? I'm curious. I've seen it,
You really
and I ain't gonna
like
lie.
Felicia,
Did you try
back
it?
with me.
Felicia's worse than a Marine. I'm a Marine. we're known for eating anything, right?
Sure.
The girl that works at her office weighs like 103 pounds. She'll eat this.
Really?
Yeah, just to, oh, what's it taste like? I don't know. And
Let's find out.
So this weekend we have the National Doggy Day at Westlake.
Okay.
And they had doggy ice cream that they make.
Okay.
Well, they had sent us last year when we did it. They had sent us a bunch back. Well, Felicia had went and bought some vanilla ice cream or something. Well, she scooped dog ice cream in my bowl.
Oh, she did you dirty.
Yeah. Oh, she did me dirty. But it's okay. I got her back. I mixed cat food in her tuna fish.
Hey, that's game on. That's what happens.
Oh my gosh.
Game on. Game on. You think guys are diabolical?
I know.
Right?
I'm like, man, wow.
Yeah.
Tuna flavored cat food in her tuna fish sandwich.
Wow. Yeah, I think you got her back.
And people wonder why I sleep with one eye open. Now I know why.
Just gotta give you Benadryl.
Yeah, that's not even fair.
Yeah, but you just go to sleep with that one. So it's
I
a little
won't
less.
feel a thing. That's when you know that's true love, when they put you to sleep and then do something bad to you.
That's
so
right.
you don't feel it. Oh, okay.
Well, there's like you see online, there's usually some couples that do like the TikTok pranks on each other.
Oh, yeah.
And they do.
I've seen some of those.
Are we saying hi?
Oh, you getting curious? Hey there.
Hi.
You come to say hi?
You saying hi?
Well, hey there. How you doing, girl?
So this is Jade.
This is Jade.
This is officially Jade.
Perfect
who is
camera ready.
actually at Roswell Seed quite a bit since, I'm there.
Right. If
So-
you're there, she's there, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But you're kind of, like you said, you're doing surgery, so this is a visit. This is not your matter of fact, your dog is visiting your sister, right?
Yes.
Or your sister. Yeah,
Yeah.
your sister.
My sister, his sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law. Very cool.
Yeah.
So,
She's a glutton for punishment. So she took our two, and then she has her two plus, and we got her. So she has 3 dogs. We have 3 dogs.
Okay.
Our smaller dog is here in town with relatives as well, because after the surgery, naturally she can't get riled up.
Sure.
So we wanted to try to make it
a place where she can convalesce here a little bit quieter and all
be
that.
At home, be at home and be comfortable.
Not have a bunch of little dogs
Yeah.
nipping on her and trying to get her to play and all that.
Oh, and she gets very comfortable at our place now. She has her own section of the couch. She has her own section of the bed.
She has her own blanket on the bed.
She has her own blanket on the bed.
Her own pillow.
When you do have a Great Dane, they kind of take up room. That's what they do.
Ours has his own couch. She won't go near it. He lays across. We have a little love seat.
Right.
He stretches out all the way across.
Got the smell all over it.
Yeah, but she won't. Yeah, she won't go near it.
Yeah.
She does. She's like, oh, no. I
Dogs
like
aren't
to
as
sit in the
territorial as cats, but they are territorial.
Yeah.
So.
She's more comfortable closer to the humans as to where our Great Dane is like, you love me, you scratch me, all right, I'm going to go lay down in my own spot.
Yeah. That's not bad either. That's a cat mindset. Come for your attention, then leave me alone. And then
Well, what's
come back
hilarious
later.
is she's very clingy, just like our boxer. When she gets up and she walks anywhere, the boxer's right on her. The Great Dane, he could care less. And the little dog follows everywhere too because she thinks you're going to drop food or something like that. So, but she does the same thing, and we refer to the boxer as the Widowmaker because if she's in the kitchen doing something, he lays down right behind her feet.
And you will get taken out.
And the other night I was laughing because she walked into the kitchen for something and stood there for like 2 minutes, and this one just laid down. And I told her, I said, well, there's another one for you.
Yeah.
She's right behind, and she's got it. Wherever she goes, she goes.
Yeah. My black and white cat does the same. Where like if you're in the kitchen working, and she wants attention, she'll park right behind you. Right. I mean, just enough where you maybe not even quite touch you. Like sometimes I'll feel a few hairs. I'm like, okay, there she is.
Yeah.
But there's times I go to I need a fork, and I go, and I'm like, and she's right there.
Yeah,
I almost killed her a couple times.
You're in NFL preseason camp, high stepping and stuff like that, trying to dodge. Yeah, that's
I know
kind of
exactly
like it is.
how that
And
is.
with her, they don't do it with me, except for the little dog. Little dog gives me our little dog. Her name's Honeybee. And she gives me a complex because I can get up and I can walk. And if I turn to go towards the bedrooms, she don't follow me. But if I turn and I go into the kitchen, she's right on me.
Game on.
Yeah, and I'm like,
That's where they keep
every
the
time
food.
you follow me, I'm in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Why is that?
That's where you keep the food. Dad.
Yeah. It's like,
Speaking of honey, when are we going to go harvest?
Oh, yeah.
Our last of the season, are we doing it at the end of September, beginning of October?
depending on what the weather's going to do. And the days are getting shorter quick, real quick now. Some of those people have corn starting to tassel, so that means that, we're coming into fall.
We're changing into the fall
Leaves
season.
are already starting to change on some of the trees around town. I've noticed a little bit.
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it?
We might actually have a true fall.
That'd be nice.
Hopefully. Yeah, that would be really great. So I'm hoping it'll probably be generally around the middle of September.
Okay.
Might be a little bit sooner if it starts getting colder quicker. Then we'll harvest the last of it.
So, kind of turning to the Roswell seed side of things. Now that we're seeing fall turn, what's some of the fall stuff that people need to be worrying about?
Fertilization of the lawns and trees, so they have enough, to make it through winter. According to the almanac, we're supposed to have a very wet, cold winter.
Okay.
It said that last year too.
See how that worked out, right?
Yeah. So if you read, there are people that they follow the almanac very, very closely.
Well, and it's is it as exact as computers and everything? No. But it's really reading the tides, traditions, and for the technology used to determine, it's pretty good.
Oh yeah, it's not. And some of the stuff in it is. When I read it a couple of times, it's pretty hokey.
Sure.
But there are stuff. One of our really close friends to the store, he actually verified that. It tells you to dig a ditch on a certain day, tells you to bury a ditch on a certain day, and they did one ditch by the almanac, and then they just did the other ones. They had like 3 or 4 ditches they had to dig for water lines, and he did say that the ditch that they dug with the almanac, they did not have to fill it in.
Interesting.
And the other ones, they'd have to put more dirt on top of it and fill it in. And it's like, okay. So, Dad, that's
impressive.
Yeah, man. Dad had to go have some dental work done, and he looked in the almanac, and it tells you the best times to have any dental work done. So
I didn't realize it went that deep.
Oh,
I thought it was all
very
soil
deep.
and crop and trees and weather and stuff.
To impregnation.
Oh, wow.
It goes to when to cut your hair.
Ooh.
When to shave.
I need to look at some of that.
Oh, yeah.
She was curious.
I'll read you. It's hilarious. I always tell people, that lawyers and farmers got drunk and got together and made the almanac. Because some of that stuff, you're sitting there looking at it going, no, there's no way. But
turns out there's some.
Yeah, there's people that
Well, it's like all the old, wives' tales for ailments and treatments. Everything from putting onions on your feet when you got a cold. There is validity to that.
Yeah,
because,
very much.
And let's face it, we've only had you go into the store and buying a pill for your cold for the last 100 years or so.
Yeah.
Prior to that, they were still having these, issues and things, but
Home
they
remedies.
were living as frontiers or ranchers and farmers.
And that's where the wonderful hot toddy was created.
Yeah.
Prior to medicine.
Well, it's funny because I couldn't even tell you which hand. It was my left hand, I think. When I was in the Philippines, I cut my hand really, really bad. And this old Filipino guy, he was just all like, "Come here," and he mixed up some stuff that flies wouldn't even come near. It stunk so bad. But he slapped that thing on my hand, and he told me, he says, "Just keep this on your hand for about a week, loose wrap." And of course, our corpsman was just like, he was like, and I was like, what? I was 18. I was like, I don't care. I'm going to find out, see what it does.
Sure.
But I mean, to this day, you can't even see the scar, and I cut it. Like, I probably should have had stitches, but we were out in the bush, and there was no way we were getting back. I wasn't going to get metaflighted for 6 stitches on my hand. But it was one of those home remedies. And he smashed it on a rock and beat it in between banana leaves and
whenever
stuff.
I run across people like that, listen, pay attention and listen, because they're about to hit you with some nuggets of wisdom.
Oh, yeah. It might smell, this stuff did. It smelled horrible.
Yeah.
But he slapped it on there, and I was like, and it immediately,
The older I get, the more trusting I am of those folks. I'm like, you know what? This is experience in action right here. I'm gonna take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And a lot of those older people, when they tell you that you need to detox your body from chemicals, they're true. You need to detox your body, and you detox through your feet.
Yeah, that's right. I did that one thing at the spa years ago where they do the toxins and then
turn the water black.
Yeah,
green.
Turns it like black. Oh, I did that one time.
I did that in a tub.
Yeah.
Put the solution in. I had to get down in a tub. Yeah, and it turned like this black green, and it bubbled. And I'm like, I'm out. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Epsom salts and fresh onions are supposed to be one of the parts to the detox.
Is it?
Yeah, soaking your feet in
Now
hot
you got a base for a soup.
It kind of sounds like a stew, Yeah, that's great,
I'm cooking John feet for dinner.
Yeah.
And when you're done, add carrots and potatoes and put it on the stove. You'll be all right.
All I can think of is, what was it, like Bugs Bunny, every time he got thrown in the pot, they take the onion and they cut it up. That's all I can think of, sitting there looking at it going,
Nope, it probably works like a champ.
Yeah.
So.
And
I do not have pickled pig's feet. Thank you.
No, we're getting close to fall planting too.
Yeah, everything fall-wise.
Yeah, now's the time. So looking like this next couple weeks, is it getting the soil ready? Is that the big thing?
Basically, right now, yeah. If you're going in with fescue grass, just hold off just a little bit.
Okay.
Usually about the beginning of September, the ground temperatures will come down enough to go ahead and put down your fescue grass. Garden-wise, you're going to be planting like all your leafy stuff, your lettuces, kales, that kind of thing. That's what's going to be going in for, your winter crop, if you want to say that. Same thing with the people out there. They want to grow alfalfa or oats or wheat or whatever. You're getting close to it. If you're up in the mountain areas right now, of course, naturally it's a little bit cooler. You want to plant now. Sorry if people are listening in the mountain area. We're still waiting on wheat and stuff to come in.
Like generally speaking, I mean, each year's different and stuff, but say like Lincoln, the mountains area, how far ahead are they on seasons than
They're
us
usually anywhere between 2 weeks to a month ahead of us.
Okay, so whatever you see them doing, we're about 2 weeks to a month behind
yeah.
when we should be doing.
Right, but they've been pretty dry up in that area, so it's,
we were up there less than a month ago, and they were drier than we were. We look like we have had more moisture than they had.
Yeah, and I was up there a couple weeks, and they did get some moisture, but not as much as they were anticipating.
Right,
so,
normally get.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they need more moisture than we do, because guess where our moisture come? All that mountain water runs down the mountains and goes into our aquifers and stuff.
And
so
a lot of
it's very important for them to have a wet season up there.
Well, yeah, Fort Sumner is also where we get part of our water from too.
Yeah, exactly. We want them to have blessed seasons because it matriculates down to us.
Right. Speaking of seasons as well, if you are in the Travis County Pumpkins Grower Association,
let the smack talk begin.
I'm about to. But we are coming to the end of August, beginning of September, so there's a month countdown.
All right.
So, Mr. Johnson, Terry's Cafe, Salisbury Cafe.
Ooh,
Your
gauntlet's about to be
sausage
thrown.
is amazing. I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
But
your pumpkin
your
skills.
pumpkin is not going to do it this year.
Oh, here we go.
The gauntlet's been thrown.
So, in order to be part of the Chavez County Giant Pumpkin Growers Association,
right.
which they have the abbreviation on, I don't know, it's about that long.
I want it on a T-shirt.
One of the requirements is smack talk.
Oh, yeah.
And Mr. Johnson, who he is, if you guys don't know Terry Johnson, if you guys never been down to the Salisbury Cafe, you really need to go. It's a great place to eat.
Monday, Wednesdays.
Oh yeah, some of the best food in town there. Yeah.
And he has won the Smack Talk Award like 4 or 5 times. And he's got the plaques up on the wall inside the restaurant.
Oh wow! There's hardware and everything.
Yeah, you get it. Yeah, you get it. Yeah. So, if anybody's interested in it, get a hold of Benny Wooten, or you could come in and talk to Dad at the shop. They're one of the founding fathers. And it's just something fun.
Yeah.
Way back.
I know none of them want to come on the radio, but if we could keep it family friendly, I would love them to have a smack off.
Oh, God,
smack talk off right here on the show.
I'm bringing Terry. I'm gonna go get him. Go get him.
They got to keep it within the parameters of radio.
Yeah,
because we don't want to lose our license.
Yeah.
But if they're willing, but I know, Mr. Gill's not. He don't want to come on the radio.
He says he likes it scripted and not live.
But off the cuff, he's really funny.
However, off the cuff, he is still very slippery of the tongue in certain subjects. So that might be why.
Well, if I can do it, he can do it. Because I'm a potty mouth and a half.
But he does it so rare, so when it does happen, it's like, what?
No, I turn off the mics and it flies. It does.
Turn it to the side.
I was in the United States military, and for 4 years, when it wasn't an acronym, it was usually a cuss word in between the acronyms.
Yeah. Well, that's why when I first started coming on here, Dad was just kind of like, holding his breath. Because, I'm the same way. Just it flows.
That's how you get things done in the United States military. I don't care what branch you're in or what you did. That's how you get things done.
So, but if you're interested in if you have a pumpkin growing stuff, they have like multiple categories. Not just quite the largest pumpkin, the biggest, but like the flattest, the roundest, the cutest, the smallest,
the perfect shaped.
The perfect shapest. Yeah, they all.
Now, is it all the same pumpkin, or do you?
No, it's different varieties. Of pumpkins
so they can
and stuff.
Submit one for each category if they want.
If they want to, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And we make it official. Miss Candy Azell, she comes in. She's our state representative.
She is a state representative and the official pumpkin judge.
Yep, she comes in and she has a great time. And you don't get it if you talk to Mrs. Zell, you realize really quick that woman's business. When she's up there in the big house, she's slapping people. And to meet her on a personal level, she's a great, and so is her husband. Nice. They're both really nice people, and she just enjoys it.
We are very fortunate to have that family in our part of the country.
We are
not only representing us in Santa Fe, but just being our neighbors and friends.
Because she's one. She'll help you out in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. And then people don't realize that when she goes up there to the big chairs, she ain't pulling the punches. Oh, no. I mean, she's a country
attack
girl.
Dog. Yeah, she's the attack dog up there.
She digs her heels in and she fights. And I always every year she comes in and she does it, and she's always very, very pleasant. And just gets a big, huge kick out of it.
Her and her husband both care about this community, and they do everything they can to make it a great community. And
but it's
very thankful for that.
Very quiet. They're not very public about what they do for our community.
They're farmer and ranchers. They're out in their fields doing their things. That's what they do.
It's kind of one of those things where it's like, how did that happen? And it's like, it wasn't publicized. It wasn't, look what I did type of thing. It was just kind of like, it was Tuesday, So,
which is a unique characteristic for a politician.
We Roswell Seed supplies the scale, and we have it certified through the state right before. So it is completely legal.
Official.
We have a couple that they're going after.
Has there been any
New Mexico?
We missed. Yeah, the New Mexico title was missed by 11 pounds.
Oh wow!
This year by a Chavez County resident.
Okay.
And he's vying for it. I mean, they're getting close to 600 pounds.
They're smelling success. They're like tasting it.
Yeah. And
has there ever been a pumpkin gate scenario over the years where anyone's tried to? I don't know, manipulate a pumpkin or anything?
You know, most people are pretty well intoxicated,
Okay.
so it's not like we're going to really check.
There wasn't that video. Like, have you seen that video that went out a couple years ago at some fishing competition where they busted the dude for putting weights in the bass?
Yeah.
And it turns out this guy's been doing it for years. And it turned into a whole thing. It's nothing like that.
So, part of being the Travis County Giant Pumpkin Growers Association is you have to be an outstanding citizen of Travis County.
Okay.
So
that can grow a
that
pumpkin.
means no vandalizing and no damaging somebody else.
Okay. So it's a gentleman's sport.
It is a gentleman's sport. However, the smack talk is not.
Sure.
And that does not damage your pumpkin. It just damages somebody's
Just
feelings.
makes people cry a
if they're
little bit.
sensitive. But nobody really does anything to harm anybody else's.
Sure. It's a lot of smack talk. It's a lot of bragging rights. But yeah, no one's doing nefarious stuff.
Right.
We're just having a good time.
We have kids that are part of the Giant Pumpkin Growers
The
Association.
best part of this is a lot of the people who are seasoned growers, when somebody new comes into the picture, they actually help you and tell you, things to do, tricks to do, what not to do, so that way you can have a successful grow.
And then once you do, then it's game on.
Yeah.
Then it's smack talk and then the whole deal.
Well, the smack talk is there from the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
But they'll mentor you until you grow your own, and then it's game on.
Yeah. But I mean, these guys, we're talking 500, I think it was 583 pounds, and he was beat by 11 pounds. So these are not small pumpkins.
Yeah,
so
that's literally the photo finish at the horse race
and
there.
it's not like, people don't realize to grow a pumpkin that big, it's not, I bought the seed and I'm going to plant it, it's going to go. No, this is years of...
Yeah, because the seed's a seed.
Crossing the seed.
It's what you do once that seed goes in the soil is what makes it ginormous or tiny or whatever you want it to be.
Fertilizing and planting. If you want to crossbreed two different pumpkins, you have to go through the whole male to female on the pumpkin plants, and then
You just can't throw a bunch of seeds in a hole and see what happens.
No. And then when that pumpkin comes, then you take the seeds out of that pumpkin.
Although I think that works for peppers.
It will, but the funny thing on the pumpkins, if you look online at some of these giant pumpkins that are genetically, you're talking like $50 to $200 per seed.
Wow! Yeah. So they're not cheap.
No.
And they're guaranteed to be giant pumpkins, but it doesn't tell you how giant. So basically, anything over like 55 pounds is considered a giant pumpkin.
Yeah.
Because you can go to Graves and get a 50-pound pumpkin come around Halloween time.
Off the patch.
Right, straight up off the patch.
Yeah.
But so they are, when I first started, looking at the pumpkin stuff, I was looking at one of the seeds, and it's guaranteed to be like an 1,100-pound pumpkin, but it was $1,000 for one seed.
Wow.
I was like, nope.
So pumpkins going for about $1 a pound in the seed world.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah. Those ones like that.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is most of the people that they're not buying those seeds for Travis County because they're like. That's funny thing about Travis County farmers is I could do that.
You want the challenge.
Yeah, they want
you
the
want to take the garden variety pumpkin seed and turn it into that. That's the fun part.
Yeah, and that's what these guys do.
Otherwise, anybody can just put this $1,000 seed in the ground and water it and do its thing and make a big pumpkin.
Big pumpkin.
Makes sense.
And then you have your farmers who actually went to college to learn agriculture, and they're the best ones to learn from. When they're telling you, trial and error. This is what I tried and it did not work.
They're the ones in the labs doing stuff.
Right.
More or less, yeah. And
so,
the more information you get out of them, it depends on how much beer you give them.
But also, what you retain depends on how much beer or alcohol you drink. So if you want information, have a recorder on your phone.
Maybe get your smartphone and just turn it on there.
Because you will not remember what they're telling you if you're that intoxicated.
Sure.
Yeah.
By the way, don't tell the cops you also recorded that in case there's other evidence that shows up in that conversation. There was a lot of beer flowing, just saying.
What happens in the field stays in the field.
That's right.
Kind of like Vegas.
Illicit pumpkin activity.
Yeah.
You cannot hold that against me in court because I was not myself.
That's right. Entrapment.
They're supposedly secretive or not secretive or what. You'll get people that come by, hey, how's it going? And but if you ever get on like YouTube and watch like the pumpkin chunking, those guys are extreme. They have hidden patches, guards, and stuff like that because they make the pumpkins.
Looks like a marijuana growing facility.
Yeah, I was watching a documentary on it, and I'm like, what in the world? And like the film crew had to be blindfolded to be driven out.
Man,
you know,
it's like Narcos stuff.
Yeah, and I was just sitting there going, it's a pumpkin. But I mean, if you ever watch the pumpkin chunking, these guys get serious.
Wow.
I mean, they're launching a pumpkin, miles.
Has anybody ever done the science like big pumpkin tastes better than little pumpkin, like in a pie? Like,
So big pumpkins, the pumpkins that are grown for the Giant Pumpkin Growers Association, are not pie pumpkins.
Okay, they're not. Are they even edible? Like, could you eat them?
They're like animal edible.
Okay, so like they're not gonna kill you, but they're gonna taste like.
Yeah, they take them down to the zoo and throw them at the zoo.
Deer
for
like them when
animals.
they're done with them.
No, so like livestock, buffalo,
Okay.
deer. They're more so on that edible plane versus not our edible.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Because that was kind of tradition with my mother-in-law, and they lived out at that time out in Alto, and so of course they have elk and everything. So when they were done with their pumpkins, they just
throw it out,
basically throw it in the field and let the elk or deer or whoever want it.
Oh,
they
do the same thing here. They'll take them to the zoo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or give them to the kids for their livestock animals. Because at the same time, this happens at fair time. So you got kids that have their livestock at the fair to show. So a lot of it gets given to the kids to feed to their animals while they're there, or to take home and feed to the other animals that they have as well.
So those ginormous pumpkins do feed a lot of our animal folks in the community here.
Yeah.
And the zoo's very happy after the fair because a lot of animals start. So if you go to the zoo, maybe like mid to late October.
I don't know when they take them because
maybe it's November. I don't know, but whenever
they showcase the giant one who wins at the front of the shop for like the whole month of October.
Okay, so maybe around Thanksgiving time, and you start noticing all the animals kind of have the beer belly kind of leaning up against
taking a little bit longer naps.
Pumpkin. There was pumpkin.
And they have their pumpkin spice latte.
And they display them in the exhibit, one of the exhibit buildings. They'll display all the giant pumpkins, or most of the bigger pumpkins. They'll put out there for you and stuff like that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think they have the names on them.
When you go to the Eastern New Mexico State Fair here in the September October time frame, there, go to the education building. I don't care what anybody spend. You can spend hours in that building just looking.
Yeah,
and it's air conditioned and it's really nice. and I don't know why more people aren't in that building. The commercial building's great. Go there, do all your stuff. But when you're done, walk into the education building and see all the hard work of the 4-H and FFA kids, adults that do artwork and stuff, and of course the pumpkins. A lot of our nonprofits have little booths or little displays in there where you can learn just about every single nonprofit in all of Chaves County and beyond. Watch your head there, big guy.
And if you're
big girl.
If you go and look at the vegetables, and if they have the names on them, and you could talk to those people and say, "Hey, what did you do different?" Most of the time, they'll tell you, "Oh, this is how I did my garden," and there you go.
Right.
How do you learn?
I just got a lick.
Oh, did you?
I just stuck my hand down there and felt the tongue lick it.
Kisses?
I got a kiss.
You're a good girl.
I saw her kind of looking down there. I was like, "Let me stick my hand." Next thing I felt the tongue on my hand.
I didn't realize it went all the way through. I never looked under there.
Yeah, if you feel feet, they're mine.
I'm short, so there's no way I'm feeling anything on that table.
Every once in a while, I have a tall person over there sitting across me, and I'll go kind of stretch. I'm like, "Oop, that's a toe. I better lean back." But yeah, she came by. I saw her peek under. I was like, "Let me stick my hand." See, the next thing I felt the tongue.
So. See, that's good. See, if I was you, I'd be like kicking people on purpose just to see their reaction.
Just point.
Just point. So yeah.
Oh, very good. We're running short on time. I just saw that here. What other stuff from Roswell Seed we definitely want to put on people's radar before we go?
Getting ready to start fertilizing your trees and stuff like that. So they got that extra boost through the wintertime. Pecan trees, you generally don't fertilize until after you pick up the nuts. So you got a little bit of time with that.
I know if you talk to if you're a pecan tree owner and stuff, I know the Chaves County Extension Office just did their pecan weevil trap workshop.
Yeah.
Where you learn how to make traps and stuff, but I'm sure you can go by Roswell Seed and you ask them about pecan weevil stuff, they could probably, if not, they'll put you in touch with, because I know they have their experts over there that kind of, as far as the quarantine rules and all that.
Right.
But if you're looking for tips and tricks, I bet there's some people over at Roswell Seed that can give you some ideas.
We can help you out with that.
Yeah.
And send you towards the right people.
But if you need to know how to learn how to make the traps, if you guys don't have it, which you might, but you go to the extension office, they'll show you how to make the little pecan weevil traps and all that kind of stuff. They just have the workshops, but you can go and they'll, if you walk in and say hi, and they'll give you the paperwork and all the instructions.
So it's getting time for fertilization for everybody. I know everybody's anxious. Put the winterizer on, put all this other stuff. We got all of that. The biggest thing right now, people are calling. I got the weeds in my yard and I want to spray. I could sell you the spray, but it's not really going to do any good. The weeds are going to be dying off in a couple of weeks anyways. So,
and weeds, when at least like I've always told, because I usually just pull them, but like if you do Roundup or whatever on your weeds and stuff, it has to be hot and dry for that to work anyway. If it's rainy and cool, then you're wasting your time.
Yeah. So the little bit of rain that we had like last week and the week before is because somebody sprayed the weeds.
That was enough to kind of ruin that little bit.
2 days, 2 times in a row. I filled up my sprayer and was going to go spray.
More rain, go spray weeds.
Yeah.
That'll make, we'll have a torrential downpour here in a couple of days.
A lot. But one of the other things too, we tell everybody pre-emerge in your grass. You're going to start that at the end of October. It's a herbicide barrier that goes in your lawn, and what it does is anything that that was in your lawn or gets blown in, as it tries to establish a feeder root, it kills it automatically.
Okay, so basically the foreign stuff, it kind of builds a defense from it, allowing it to take root into your...
Right, and you do it 3 times a year, and the only drawback to it is if you have to reseed, you have to wait, because this stuff doesn't know the difference between lawn seed and weed seed.
So it'll block everything.
Yeah, basically. But I mean, if you're tired of, you have the neighbor that doesn't take care and you're spraying and stuff, come in, talk to us.
Their goat heads and everything start floating over to your area.
Yeah, we can set you up with a pre-emerge. Makes life a lot easier. You just spread it out, water it in, and then you're done for 120 days.
Nice.
Yeah. So
if you got that going on, the neighbors that you're trying to keep your yard and their stuff isn't, Roswell Seed has some options to kind of help you at least get your side good, so you don't have to yell at your neighbors every time they cut their grass or maintain their lawn.
Yeah, we had one guy came in and he wanted some soil sterilant to put in his neighbor's yard because he was tired of the weeds, and I'm like,
I feel that pain as someone who used to have that issue with neighbors and things at a place I used to live at. I mean, they're fenced in their back. They had a chain link fence in the front and a stockade style fence in the back, so you couldn't really see the backyard. Except for I had a 2-story house next door, so if I went upstairs and looked out my window, I could look back, and it was literally like something out of Stranger Things back there. It was just, and they had like 20 dogs, and so the weeds were almost as high as the fence, but there was paths where the dozens of dogs that were running around in out back. Finally, animal control had to come because they had way more than the city was allowing. Right. I mean, they probably as many animals as you have over at the Humane Society at their house.
Oh, yeah.
It was that bad.
I had a neighbor like that, but it was the front yard.
Yeah.
And we have a spray at work, and I went and I had a couple of beers in me, and it was kind of at night, and I went and I sprayed a big finger in the yard. You really couldn't see it. If you were in your truck, you could see it. Right. And the guy didn't even notice. He didn't even care.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like when they have a yard like this, if you clean up, they're going to notice. But you do something else to it, it's like, when did that happen? You know what I mean? It's
like my friend come over and he's like, did you spray a finger in that guy's? I was like, yeah, I did.
He didn't even know.
I felt a little bit bad about it, but then he didn't even notice it. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, enjoy. Now it's your own private joke every time you go by and see it. So. Very good. If anybody has any questions about anything, or if your yard, or and this is the thing I want to put on your radar. If you don't know what you're doing, Roswell Seed can help you with that. And even if you have a little bit of knowledge, that can be even more dangerous than not knowing anything, really, especially when experts are trying to show you how to do something. Just come and let them talk to you. I mean, that's the thing. There's, when you have a business that's been open 100+ years, there's a lot of experience going on that's been passed around. So, that the knowledge that Jim Gill has, that was passed from, his dad and so forth.
Granddad and everything.
So you've got 100+ years of experience, not only with soil and trees and plants, but with soil, trees, and plants in your neighborhood in southeast New Mexico. So when everyone tells you on a TikTok video or a YouTube video that you could grow this way if you do it this way, and that doesn't work like anything here, Roswell Seed can tell you why and make it a way so that you can get what you want.
Because there's a lot of things that'll grow in northern New Mexico that will not grow in southern New Mexico.
Exactly.
There's things that will grow on the north side of town that won't grow on the south side of town.
Exactly. So that water aquifer we have is a blessing as far as water. but it really wreaks havoc on moving minerals and things around in our soil.
Oh, yeah.
Which impacts greatly on what you grow in it.
Exactly.
So come to Roswell Seed. What do you know the phone number off the top of your head?
575-622-7701.
See, yeah.
There you go. Call that.
That's why I got a handler.
I know. I've been married 20 years, and same
Look,
thing.
I am multitasking. I am handling a man and a dog,
Yeah.
a toddler and a behave dog.
In all fairness, the dog seems pretty easy. Just
I
kind of
am
lazy.
body trained, so
And the dog, to be honest, the dog just laying there doing nothing.
yeah.
So pretty easy.
I mean, I
so.
can do that too, but I get in trouble for it.
Like that dog seems pretty easy to maintain.
Trying to get her to walk through doorways.
Yeah, that could be a thing.
I could lay around, but
There's
then
a
I get
different story.
Take the trash out.
But I can sit in a room and stare at her. I
Yeah.
can do that.
That's about right.
There you go. Well, thank you guys. We
Thank
appreciate it
you.
as always. We'll see you next time, and have fun. I can't wait to see the local honey when it gets harvested
Oh yeah,
here. That's gonna be exciting.
gonna be soon. I'm hoping.
So I did something really quick before we go off.
Yeah.
So I did a trial experimentation this year with a small thing of honey.
Okay.
So remember the habanero mesquite honey I brought you
Yes.
back?
Yes.
So I wanted to try to make some chipotle honey.
Okay.
So we have chipotle honey, and it's very chipotle, but it's also very sweet. So it's like a sweet heat.
Okay. You know that hot honey you gave me? Chicken nugget dipping in that stuff is a 10. You would have never thought of it, but you dip a chicken nugget in that stuff, it is amazing.
So I'm gonna bring you and Sean because we just strained it last night and got as much of the chipotle out as possible because it was powder and not a actual pepper. I'm gonna bring you guys some on Thursday.
Okay.
I guarantee it's gonna taste better than that damn ranch ice cream.
Yeah, that wasn't good. Well, that's a pretty low bar. In all fairness, that's not really exciting me. Though. It's like, well,
that's true.
I could eat this chair and it tastes better than
He's gonna gnaw on that pin in a minute.
Right. Well, if you look, there's probably evidence that I already have. So, good deal. Well, thank you guys. We'll
Thank
see
you.
We'll see you here later this week, and stay cool, dry, or whatever's about to happen the next couple days
Right?
here.
Yeah.
So. All right, it is 9:57. Let's
Now
take
your Pecos
break.
Valley News update. I'm Jared Cirillo. The 19-year-old Artesia woman accused of leaving her newborn baby to die in a hospital trash can has now won her case to have her bail conditions modified. The change will allow Alexi Trevizo to attend university classes in person. Trevizo is charged with murder, child abuse, and tampering with evidence over the January birth of her son. The baby was found in a trash can by staff at Artesia General Hospital. The defense alleging the child was stillborn, but prosecutors allege the boy was murdered, citing a medical examiner's report that classified his death as a homicide based on the presence of air in his lungs. The New Mexico Attorney General's office now filing an action on behalf of consumers impacted by the unexpected closure of New Mexico Solar Group, which had operated in communities across the state since 2015. Among other issues, the Attorney General's office is primarily concerned with helping in the recovery of money paid by customers for services that were never completed before the business's decision to fold. In addition to the action against New Mexico Solar Group, the office also confirms the investigations have been opened on Meraki Solar and Titan Solar after the office received a significant number of consumer complaints alleging unfair or deceptive business practices. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
See if you can make any sense of this new research about today's parents and raising children, because I sure can't. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. Post a job for free and find qualified candidates quickly at linkedin.com/Kim. 43% of today's parents say that they have no idea, let me stress it, no idea how to raise their kids without a smartphone. Never mind that generations before them had no concept of a smartphone. These parents are completely lost. But what does this mean? When pressed, it turns out that today's young parents check their smartphones 77 times a week for advice on how to raise their kids. Anything from how to handle a temper tantrum to what's appropriate school attire. 66% use them to keep an eye on the weather and shop for their kids. More than a third say that because of their children, they've had to increase their monthly data usage. These are millennial parents, and this is what raising kids means to them. Hey, get tech smart every single day with my free newsletter. You're going to love it at getkim.com. Squeezing in one last getaway this summer? Before you take off, protect your home with the latest innovation from SimpliSafe, called 24/7 Live Guard Protection, designed to stop crime in real time. Now, if an intruder breaks in, SimpliSafe professional monitoring agents can actually see, speak to, and deter them through the new Smart Alarm wireless indoor camera, warning them that police are on their way. The new Smart Alarm indoor camera is the only indoor security camera that can trigger an alarm and instantly deter intruders with a built-in siren. And the new 24/7 Live Guard Protection and Smart Alarm indoor camera work seamlessly with an entire SimpliSafe security system to keep your home safe from break-ins, fires, flooding, and a lot more. And right now, my listeners get 20% off any SimpliSafe system when you sign up for a free month trial of Fast Protect monitoring. Visit simplysafekim.com. That's simplysafekim.com. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Hey, New Mexico. Experiencing issues keeping your office technology up to date with these crazy supply chain issues? Well, DSI is here to help. We've diversified our products and solutions to help your business not just survive, but thrive in any situation. Have your teams collaborate and share with high-def video walls and interactive smart panels. With free unlimited support, the fear of any new technology is a thing of the past. Contact DSI today to upgrade your workspace. www.dsinm.com.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Let's talk some NMMI Broncos athletics as the junior college football team will be starting its season on Saturday. It'll be at home against the St. George Eagles team from St. George, Utah. NMMI was 9-3 last season. That game will start at 6 o'clock. And how about the Lady Broncos from NMMI volleyball team? They have started the season with a 4-0 mark, and they'll be back in action in Odessa, Texas, coming up this weekend for a couple of games on Friday, a couple of games on Saturday. It's the Odessa College Invitational. Friday morning at 10 a.m., NMMI will be taking on Snow College, and then the Lady Broncos will be taking on Vernon College. That game will start at 4 o'clock. That's Friday afternoon. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
As they work on identifying the remains of wildfire victims, authorities in Hawaii are pleading with relatives of the missing to provide DNA samples. As many as 1,100 names remain on a tentative list of those still unaccounted for. 43 victims identified so far, the death toll 115. Russia and Ukraine have once again traded overnight drone attacks, the Ukrainians targeting Moscow, the Russians going after Ukrainian grain storage depots. There will be 8 candidates on the stage in tonight's first Republican presidential candidates debate in Milwaukee. Former President Trump will not be there. GOP strategist Ron Bonjean says a Trump-free debate feels like an Olympic trial without the gold medal favorite.
Trump's absence from the Fox News debate makes it a race for second place and really takes the wind out of the debate. I think it makes it much less interesting.
Given Mr. Trump's absence, Ron DeSantis and Vivek Ramaswamy will be the highest polling candidates on the stage. The Dominican Republic Haiti being lashed by Tropical Storm Franklin, and it's only the start.
Between 5 to 10 inches of rainfall with locally higher amounts of up to 15 inches across the central portions of Hispaniola into the day on Thursday. And unfortunately, this is going to produce some catastrophic flash flooding.
Philippe Papin at the National Hurricane Center. As of this morning, India has joined an exclusive club, nations that have landed a craft on the moon. A lander with a lunar rover inside touched down near the moon's south pole. It is an uncharted territory that scientists believe could hold vital reserves of frozen water and precious elements. On Wall Street this morning, stocks are trading higher. The Dow is up 84 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with the best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to give you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available.
The main issues for voters center around the high inflation rate and the volatile local currency.
Great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's
Filipino forces guarding a contested shoal. News and analysis at townhall.com. An 86-year-old man is accused in a long-running government benefits scam.
Authorities say Napoleon Gonzalez of Etna, Maine, assumed his brother's identity in 1965, a quarter century after his sibling's death as an infant, and used it to double-dip on Social Security benefits. He's been convicted of identity theft, mail fraud, Social Security fraud, and passport theft. Gonzalez's benefits were previously investigated by the Social Security Administration for potential fraud, and his benefits were upheld. A new investigation was launched in 2020 after facial identification software indicated Gonzalez's face was on 2 state identification cards. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Opening arguments due today in the trial of 3 men accused of plotting to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer in 2020. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
They call it the Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
And I'll be back.
Overcast Wednesday. Enjoy it. Yeah, kind of middle of the week, made it. A little overcast. There is a chance of rain this morning and then again this afternoon. I'll get you up to date on the weather and all that here in just a bit. A couple things I'm going to put on your radar while we're talking here. A couple of events coming up here, of course, 1 week from tomorrow. is the Guy Penrod concert that's going to be happening at Grace Community Church. Showtime is going to be at 6 p.m. Or doors open at 6. The concert itself will start at 7 p.m. And you can get your tickets right now. There's still the Gold Circle tickets are gone. They're sold. No mas. But we do have general admission tickets left. You can get them at Grace Community Church. You can go to roswellnmhistory.com and shoot or .org, I'm sorry, and shoot and get tickets or call the Historical Society. They'll be happy to get you tickets. Anyway, but get your tickets are $30 for general admission tickets. And you can pay forward too. Like if you're like, well, I can't go to the concert, but I'd love for people to go, then you can say, hey, Amy, I want a couple people to go. Here's some money to buy some tickets and pay it forward. You can do that too. So reach out to Amy or go to Grace Community Church, get your tickets, and enjoy. It'll be a fun concert 1 week from tomorrow, next Thursday at Grace Community Church. So
I'd imagine the housewife crowd out there is going to be intense.
The ladies do love the Guy Penrod.
They come out. They show up and they show out.
Yeah, and then after that fun evening of music, the Chaves County Federated Republican Women are having their Cowboy Prom.
Wow.
Saturday, September 16th. That's going to be at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m.
I imagine a lot of doffed caps, ma'am.
That's right. A night of dancing. Right. Dancing all night. The Graham Brothers from Ruidoso will be your on the, I'd say ones and twos, but they're on the guitars and drums.
On the pedal steel.
Yeah, on the pedals, yeah. The night includes a delicious dinner, silent auction, a live auction, a cash bar, and a card cut for a firearm.
Ooh.
That's a card game. Let them explain it to you. You know. Tickets are $70 per person, and they're also having table sponsorships available as well. Peppers, as they always do an excellent job, will be on the food. I was told the menu, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. It's meat, and it's delicious. I don't remember what it is.
I hope there's some poivre involved. They do well with their poivre sauce. Poivre sauce, excuse me.
And if there's scrimp, pepper scrimp's big. I don't know where they get their big scrimp, but every time I have a catered event by Peppers and their scrimp.
Those aren't scrimps. Those are prawns.
Yeah, them big boys. But anyway, get your tickets. You can do so by calling 575-420-8455. The Chaves County Federated Republican Women also have a Facebook page. You can shoot a message on there. I am sure one of the members will get back to you pretty quickly there. But mark it on your calendar, Saturday, September 16th at the Convention and Civic Center here in Roswell. Come out for dancing, food, auction, and the Graham Brothers' delightful music.
When you said the card cut,
yes,
all that flashed through my head was the old Bugs Bunny bit. Would you like to cut the cards? And he pulls out the giant machete and he slices them in half.
Yeah, that's a Looney Tunes joke. Speaking of jokes, did you catch Greg's dad joke level 7 on Facebook?
I must not have.
Oh, let me find it for you.
Okay.
Of all people that would appreciate this joke.
That's well played, because I pulled one on Roy yesterday that was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah?
I showed him a picture of a ham in a vice grip. Okay?
Okay.
And it said, if you're happy and you know it, and the picture. And I showed it to him. It took him a second. Clamp your hands.
Clamp your hams. Okay.
It's dad joke gold.
Well, allow me to add to that.
Please do.
From Greg Birch. Dad joke level 7. Where do bad rainbows go?
I don't know. Where do bad rainbows go?
Prism. It's a light sentence and gives them time to reflect.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Prism. Oh.
Dad joke level 7.
Slow clap for Greg Birch. Not only is he a visual artist, he is an artist of the word too.
That one just, and it's his wheelhouse with the art and the colors and everything. So I was just like, dad joke level 7.
Well played.
I was highly impressed with that.
Nice.
I appreciate good dad joke. That was one of them.
Absolutely. So I just read an interesting story.
Yeah.
Apparently, NSYNC NSYNC,
the band,
the boy band,
yeah.
from the early 2000s, getting back together for one song.
Really?
Yeah. They're putting out a song for the new Trolls movie.
That's the one with, is Timberlake in there and
Justin
all that?
Timberlake.
Yeah, they're all.
JC Chazé.
Okay. Well, I was wondering if Timberlake was
Joey
the one.
Fatone, the fat one.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're getting together for you might as well call it a charitable organization because basically Justin Timberlake's giving Joey Fatone and JC Chazé a check.
Yeah.
But
Joey Fatone's doing fine.
He's actually,
Yeah, the others I don't know about, but Joey Fatone's doing all right.
I think JC Chazé opened up a dance school.
Did he? Okay.
I think.
Yeah, no, Joey Fatone's doing just fine. He's
Chris
doing...
Kirkpatrick. Now that's the only thing I know about Chris Kirkpatrick is from the Eminem song.
Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, if you Joey and the two big guns pass out, I don't know anything about NSYNC. I know Joey Fatone, and the only reason and Joey Fatone, he's my favorite of the bunch. Because he's a cool dude.
He embraces it.
Yeah, he's fun.
He gets the fact that
he's a funny guy.
I was in this like super serious like emotional boy band back in the back in the 2000s, but now I'm just a dude.
I think technically now his day job is hot dog vendor.
He's actually
because he owns a chain of restaurants called Fat Ones, and they're hot dog stores.
But he also tours with the Impractical Jokers.
Yes, exactly. That's how I know a lot about him because he's always hanging out with the Impractical Jokers, and so I'm like, yeah, he's doing just fine.
He goes on their like cruises.
Yeah,
and stuff.
and he's on their shows, and he's a friend. He's like a friend of those guys, and so that's why I like him because he's. I like the Impractical Jokers.
Absolutely,
comedy. So
it's funny because I almost feel like this is like a repair to Justin Timberlake's reputation because he's sort of like sunk into like into the hidden realm of celebrity over the last couple of years.
I don't think he's been busy.
He's not really out there. That's what I'm saying.
He doesn't have to.
This is almost like his and
I don't think his acting
coming
career
out
took off like he wanted it to.
Are you saying the 2008 hit Alpha Dog didn't have the effect it should?
Well, he had one or two other movies he showed up in too. I just don't think it went the way he wanted it to, and so and maybe musically, maybe he's like, I don't know what I want to do with my hands. So, NSYNC, here we go.
It's funny that people assume that because you reach a certain level of celebrity, you can achieve fame in like the movie or TV industry. Hulk Hogan is a prime example of somebody who should have just stayed in his lane.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, oh, I'm famous, brother. I'm going to go out to Hollywood.
That
Mr.
TV...
Mom. I mean.
I was going to argue that...
Three Ninjas, High Noon at Mega Mountain.
What was that movie, a TV show with him in the boat?
It was... oh, my gosh.
The American Dream song came from it, didn't
Thunder.
It was not Tropic Thunder, but
I think... No, it wasn't Tropic Thunder. It was something real close to that, though.
Yeah, that was maybe a no, we shouldn't do that.
Yeah, stay in. I mean, there's certain times when you just need to understand
shows
you
like
have
that.
To stay in your lane.
Shows like that make Knight Rider look like like Emmy award-winning material here.
I wanted to say Tropic Thunder again.
You're warm.
I feel like that's right. Yeah, Thunder in Paradise.
Thunder in Paradise.
Yes.
There it is.
Oh, what a god-awful show that was.
But basically it was Knight Rider kind of on a boat. With the
except for the boat didn't talk.
And instead of Michael Knight, it was Hulk Hogan.
The boat wasn't Mr. Feeney.
Yeah, but it was like we'll say Dukes of Hazzard on a boat. Maybe it was more like Dukes of Hazzard in a boat. But there was one guy and it was the Hulk. And he solved cases or something. Like the A-Team fixed things.
I have to fix this problem, but not before I rip all the sleeves off my T-shirts, brother.
I think all that came because he was hanging out with Mr. T during that time, and Mr. T's like, his A-Team gig's pretty good. You ought to do this with a boat.
Mr. T is one of those anomalies that I can't even explain. Did you know that for a time there was a Mr. T cereal?
I ate it and owned it.
It featured in the Pee-wee movie.
I remember the cartoon.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid when Mr. T teaming up with Mr. T cereal.
He goes, it's good. That was the only line he said in the whole commercial was, it's good.
But I remember the jingle to this day. Teaming up with Mr. T. Yeah. I remember. I ate it. The cereal was god-awful. It was because there was also a trope of other cereals based off things.
So here's a fun fact.
Donkey Kong cereal was another one that came out right around the time as Mr. T.
Here's a fun fact, kids. In the 80s, cereal was made by a company called Ralston Purina. Yes,
the dog
that
food?
Purina, they got into the cereal game. So their whole game was, we're going to make dog food and children's breakfast cereal.
Bad
and yes,
ones.
they're notorious for the most licensed copy versions of those.
Yeah.
Like they did the Nintendo cereal system. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, well, there was a Pac-Man cereal.
There was
I remember
a Pac-Man cereal,
Yeah.
but there was the Nintendo one was 2 separate bags. It was the system because you could go the Mario route or you could go the Zelda route.
Ah.
Each one was a different experience.
All of it tastes like garbage.
Of course. It was just sugary garbage.
But I remember begging Mom for Mr. T cereal and so disappointed when Mr. T cereal was that Saturday morning cartoons. You're like, all right, I got my Mr. T. And I'm like, gross.
Yeah. I want to argue that the sugary cereal era of the 80s was the worst, but I feel like over the COVID era and like now, cereal companies have sort of lost their minds. A couple of years ago, they put out a Sour Patch Kids cereal.
Ugh.
Yeah. Why would you want that?
Now, I grew up on, and now that I think about it, because I've never seen the cereal since, it may have been a generic knockoff for Cocoa Puffs, but I was raised on something called Crazy Cow, and it was basically Cocoa Puffs.
Fair enough.
And I just thought it was a cereal brand, but now as an adult, I'm pretty sure it was some generic knockoff brand of Cocoa Puffs.
So you know what's messed up is my parents went brand name, but they also went terrible because the cereal in my house growing up was Post Toasties.
Oh yeah, Post Toasties.
Post Toasties. Tell you what, that a couple of slices of banana and some sugar, that'll get you off right. Get your day going.
I remember going to visit my grandmother, and I think I've told this story. She lived up in upstate New York. I've talked about her iced coffee, all
blueberries.
Stuff. But for breakfast. During the week, she'd have, you can have whatever. She'd usually do cereals, for the morning. But it was grandpa cereals. Like you open it up and it was Total. Like,
oh my God, we were at Total House when I was a kid.
Like this is why to this day I'm a huge fan of Toasted Oat Squares, because that was the one cereal that was in the group that was adult cereals that I liked. And I was like, all right, I'll eat the Toasted Oat Squares. You leave that Total. They had the grape nuts.
Now, I like Total.
I don't.
As like an adolescent, my dad got really into Total, and we always had Total and Total Cornflake or Total Raisin Bran.
See, my grandmother, when she wasn't making my eggs, fried bologna sandwich, I would have Frosted Flakes.
What's really funny
is... And so I lived on Frosted Flakes, so when someone slipped a corn flake or a Total Flake on me, and it didn't taste like Frosted Flakes, I was salty.
Well, Frosted Flakes is a corn flake with some sugar on top.
Right. The sugar's the key.
I understand. I totally understand. My dad, it was so funny because he would point, and he loved the ad campaign about that Total ran was, it was 100% of everything.
Yeah.
Because he used to run down the ingredients list.
I remember.
The thing and say 100%, 100%, 100%. And then he'd turn around and light his Doral Light 100.
Right. I'm eating healthy.
It's just...
Where's my crack cocaine?
It was such a juxtaposition of opinions.
Eat healthy, boy. Give me a beer.
Do as I say, not as I do, boy.
Where's my biscuits and gravy? All right, we're going to play our interview we had with Freddie Sosa here in just a few minutes. He joined us Friday morning. Talked a little bit about some of the stuff just going on there. Not so much with sales that weekend. There might be a couple things, but mostly talking just about the car industry, some of the deals going on. And then, of course, we did tease. They've got an event coming up here in a couple weeks.
We're going to be out September 9th.
Yeah.
I believe it is.
They got a big Dodge and GM combined event happening, and we'll tell you more about it.
Corporate synergy.
Yeah. We're all going to come together and have a little shindig.
That's right.
So,
probably a Jolly Jump involved.
There you go.
Ooh, fun fact. Jolly Jump in Spanish, brinca brinca.
Yes, I've heard.
That's so much fun. That's like my favorite Spanish word in the world.
I remember talking to Vidi about that a couple of years ago, and she kept saying brinca brinca, and I was like, what is brinca brinca? She's like, Jolly, or it's the generic version of Jolly. Because Jolly Jump is actually a trademark name. It means
bounce bounce.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. Jolly Jump is like Kleenex or
Xerox.
Yeah, you can't. Technically, it's a bounce house. People just call it Jolly Jump because that's the name everybody knows. But that Blinka Blinka means bounce.
Yeah, Brinka Brinka is like literally my favorite Spanish word.
It is
fun
to say,
it
and
is.
just use it in various conversations whenever you can crowbar it in.
Pepper it in.
That's right. All right, it's 8:21. Let's take a look at the weather. See if it rains.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have some tropical air on the way, and that may bring us some showers and thunderstorms today. Partly sunny, and our afternoon highs in the low 90s. The wind will be a little gusty, around 25 miles an hour. Scattered showers and thunderstorms overnight, our low dropping to about 70, and then we'll be getting sunshine on Thursday, mid to upper 90s for the afternoon high. Maybe a few isolated showers. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 76 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 62%. Winds currently out of the south at 10 miles per hour. We are looking at a 50% chance at showers. Slight chance this morning before 10 a.m. Then looking at chances after this afternoon. Mostly cloudy for the day. Highs only expected to reach 92 degrees. Winds will be breezy out of the east, 10 to 20 miles per hour. There's a good chance of rain, but what they're saying is if we get rain, it probably won't be a lot of it unless there's a storm. Then not much. But in other words, we'll see. Never know. For tonight, also looking at a 50% chance at showers and thunderstorms, mainly before midnight. Mostly cloudy. Expect an overnight low of 69 degrees. Winds will be out of the south. 10 to 15 early. They'll drop down 5 to 10 after midnight. Same thing. Expect the rainfall amounts, unless there's a storm through the area, to be less than 1/10 of an inch of rain. For you Thursday, there is a 20% chance at some showers and thunderstorms for the day. I thought it was early, but now they're just saying for the day. Partly cloudy and a high of 94 tomorrow. Winds out of the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, sunny. High of 99. South winds 5 to 15 should be clear skies for football on Friday. And then looking at the weekend, there is sunny skies and a high of 98 on Saturday. Sunday, we are looking at rain chances, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny, and 98. And then, according to this, that starts a trend of rain chances, good ones, as we get later into next week or beginning of next week. We're talking Monday, a 50% chance of rain, Monday night, a 50% chance, and a 30% chance on Tuesday, too. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get some more rain chances Sunday and Monday and Tuesday of next week. All right, 8:24, we're going to take a quick 3.5-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with Freddie Sosa from Richland. Don't go away.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
ENMU Roswell offers high school students the opportunity to get a head start on their college education journey into healthcare. Through the Allied Health Careers Pathway, high school learners can enroll in dual credit courses that introduce them to a wide range of careers that include emergency medical technician, paramedic, nursing, occupational therapy, respiratory therapy, medical assisting, phlebotomy, and nursing assistant. Start your healthcare career path at ENMU Roswell. Contact your high school counselor for more information.
Pecos Valley Production, the top-rated dispensary in New Mexico with 20 convenient locations. Visit PecosValleyProduction.com to explore a wide range of offerings near you. Pecos Valley Production is now accepting donations for back-to-school supplies at all locations. Now through August 25th, Pecos Valley Production dispensaries will be collecting school supplies needed for grades K through 12, such as pencils, pens, notebook paper, binders, and backpacks. All items received will be donated to local schools and community charities throughout the area. Together, let's ensure that every child has the best possible start to a successful school year. Now go roll up to a PVP dispensary near you. PecosValleyProduction.com is dairy to dank. Support your local farmer, fresh from our farm to you. Nothing for sale, for educational purposes only. 21 and older with valid ID.
I'm amazed at just how different our store looks from a year ago. Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. It's been a long time coming, but our showrooms are absolutely filled with beautiful new items. Gorgeous power reclining furniture for your living room, cozy bedroom suites and mattresses, and stylish new dining room tables and dinettes. I'll bet we have exactly what you're looking for. So hurry to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
Let's face it, guys. We're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's Aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at Aftermath.media. Again, that's Aftermath.media.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning from Richland Motors, Freddie Sosa.
Hey.
With an R. Morning, Freddie. How you doing today?
Great. And yourself?
Doing good. How's life at Desert? It's our Desert Sun, Richland this morning. Almost went old school on you.
Yeah, shame on you. Shame.
How's life at Richland this morning?
Honestly, we're blessed. I mean, we're still, selling a bunch of cars, trying to stay busy, service department's rocking.
Is it feeling more like the normal, like you did pre-COVID? Not exactly, but as far as like life at a car dealership, is it more like pre-COVID now than ever since COVID, do you think? Or as far as inventory and supply and demand, is it still...
Inventory's still kind of an issue.
Okay.
Getting exactly what you want is kind of hard. But, the amount of cars that we have is better than what we've had in the past.
Good deal. And so you're like not there yet, but it's certainly a lot better than it was, say, a year ago.
And I don't think it'll ever be back to what it was before.
Okay.
I think the manufacturers have gotten really used to being able to produce a little bit less, and the way they've been doing things. So I think it's going to kind of stay very similar to what it is.
So is it
now.
kind of, you think, just COVID's kind of changed how the auto industry does business a little bit, and that's probably going to be the standard from now on, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and I liked how you said, is it back to normal? Normal's kind of what you make it, and
Sure.
I feel like through COVID, through all the hard times that most auto dealerships have gone through, we've just made sure to make this as easy and as fun as possible. So it hasn't really, it reflected us, but it didn't hurt us like a lot of places, just because our attitude was right.
Well, and here's the difference. And I'm going to probably argue those that succeeded versus those that didn't during this kind of stuff. And I'm going to say the customer service side is probably one of the main factors where businesses survived, and especially like in your industry where you just didn't have the product to get to folks. But you know what? We're going to work the angles. We're going to do everything. And I think customers saw that. And it's like, okay, either whether they succeeded or not, the amount of effort they went to try to get something that's really hard to get from me right now is something people appreciate.
Yeah, and one of the cool things I really appreciate about Travis is his mindset's always been, through the hard times, we're going to go double. So we're not going to slow down on advertising. We're not going to, everything, instead of where most people would cut back, we're doing the exact opposite. Because we know through hard times that this is where we work our best. And
it's and you have a product that everybody really is going to need at some point or another. That you can't function without life without the ability to drive. particularly in New Mexico. Maybe you can get away with that in New York City or even Dallas or something, but not here in southeast New Mexico. And
what's really changed in the car business is what people are buying now.
Yeah.
And so, yes, we still sell a bunch of trucks and 2500s, but that small mid-size SUV has turned into a very sought-after vehicle because gas prices are still high. I mean, prices are still high. Interest rates are high. And so that small mid-size, the Chevy Trax, the Chevy Trailblazer, the Buick Encore, and what's coming out is the Buick Envista real soon. Those are probably some of our fastest moving product, when before it wasn't, because now what people are looking for has changed drastically.
Well, and I imagine those are a good alternative because the world's going electric. You can you see the commercials, you see everything, they're always trying to steer us to electric and cars. And the big crux of that problem, especially here, is infrastructure. You can't, great, you got an electric car, but now I got to plot and plan to go on a trip because I got to navigate between stops and everything else. These vehicles here, in essence, as far as emissions and all that, I mean, they're not the problem.
Yep.
And you get 400 miles on the tank of gas, and you only put 12 gallons of gas in the thing. You know what I mean? And that's to me the real fix. I mean, electric's wonderful and all that, but until the infrastructure in place and until you can give me an electric car that I can go 400 miles round trip and I could tow a boat with a thing for the same amount of time, people aren't going to embrace that kind of thing.
Well, in four-cylinder, what we used to know back in the day, no one wanted a four-cylinder because they felt like they couldn't get out of the
Now they're racing them.
Exactly. Now a four-cylinder car is kind of sought after. One of our best-selling vehicles right now is the 2.7-liter four-cylinder full-size truck.
Nice.
Still towing 7,000 pounds.
So you get all the heft you want, but not the $150 gas bill at the pump.
Exactly. And so that truck has become something that we can't even keep on the lot.
Okay.
And when it first came out, people, including our salesmen, were like, well, who would want a four-cylinder truck? And then we sent a bunch of our salesmen to a training in Dallas, and that training concentrated on it, and then it made these guys realize...
It sold it on them.
Exactly. And as soon as we sell it on the guys, then they feel that the product is great, which is what it is. Now... we can't keep them on the lot. A four-cylinder, four-wheel drive truck.
Well, it checks all the boxes. And people were skeptical that it checks the boxes. Then they saw it in action and said, wow, it actually does check all the boxes. So, and now, and I'm guessing because if you're a car salesperson, you're kind of a car person. You know what I mean? You like cars. Maybe you're not a mechanic, but you see a cool car, you're that person that's going, hey, look at that bad boy. And so if you can sell the car people, they're easily going to sell the average Jane and Joe on it. You know what I mean? Or people that watch a YouTube video for 5 minutes and form their opinion off of it based on that.
100%. And that's really our goal.
Yeah.
The word of mouth is what sells cars for us.
Yeah.
I mean, giving people a good experience. And so when we explain how good, let's just say that product is, a 2.7-liter four-cylinder truck, and you buy it, you're going to go tell your neighbor, everyone who asks questions about it, and then all of a sudden I got 5 or 6 people showing up, hey, you got any of those 2.7s? Can you show me them? Tell me what they're all about. And we get more of that than a lot of stuff just because now people are interested. Same thing when the 3-liter diesel first came out. People were skeptical, and now another thing, because the 3-liter diesel in a half-ton truck gets great gas mileage too. And everyone I know who has one of those raves that they're getting sometimes over 30 miles per gallon.
And we all have to understand too is, when it comes to new technologies in vehicles, there's always that A, learning curve, but B, because generally speaking, when these kind of things happen, you're going against the grain of what people kind of think is the standard. You know what I mean? And so anytime you're introducing a product or something like that does that, you're going to meet the resistance. You know what I mean? And here's the difference is the resistance came, but then it passed the sniff test. That's the difference is people. Now, sure, at the very beginning they may have had a few, but that's the evolutionary process of new products.
Yes.
Anytime a new product comes out, there's going to be bugs, quirks, and things. And then usually, after they've kind of settled that in after a few months or whatever, next thing you know, that it's the product is what it was designed to be.
Exactly. And sometimes we just got to, people are so afraid of change.
Yeah.
And so one of the things we've realized, especially in the car business, especially with the way they build product for us, is we have to be the first ones to embrace change. And if we're not willing to do that, we're left behind.
Sure. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you guys have to have that foot in every world. Whereas because your customer base is a foot in every world. You have your customer base that wants the latest, the greatest, the high tech, new technology. Yes, I want to be a part of that. And then you also have the old guard. The old one's like, nope, I want the truck. I'm going to buy this truck. This truck's going to last me for the next 300,000 miles. You know what I mean? And it's like, what do I need it to get me from point A. I need it to be able to haul 7,000 horses or whatever it got to do with it. You know what I mean? And so your customer base is broad, and so you guys kind of have to be on top of all that. So when the techie comes in, you're able to hit him. But when someone's like, I just want a truck, hey, you can say, here's your truck.
Here's your truck. One of the coolest things that we've been experiencing, and I think we've talked about this a little bit before, is the reach we're getting. Okay, because we've been real smart in changing and putting people in the right place. We moved gentleman that worked for us, Brandon Johnson. He was our used car manager and made him our inventory director.
Okay.
And so now he's in charge of getting us used cars and ordering all of our...
We call him the hunter.
Right? Ordering all of our new cars for both locations,
nice.
The Chevy and the Dodge store. But because he's done such a good job on making sure we have the right inventory, we're pulling people from, we just had someone come down from Portland, Oregon. We're delivering cars to California, Colorado. I mean, we're going all over. We had to hire a guy specifically for us to deliver cars out of state.
Wow, that's great.
Because
that's all reputation right there,
exactly,
by the way, too. Yeah.
Because of what we're pulling from other markets, because we're keeping the right inventory.
Yeah.
And so he's done such a great job. It's amazing what we've had to do to adapt to take care of these customers that are coming from so far away.
And I bet some of this goes back to what was going on during COVID, which you talked a little bit about on the radio at the time, was when inventory was sneaking in, people were marking that stuff up crazy. We're talking 200, 300, 400, 500% over what the Blue Book was.
Yeah.
And people were paying it because the demand was there. You guys weren't doing that.
No,
people were coming, it's like, no, the Blue Book's this is what the Blue Book is, or this is what the sticker price is what the sticker price is.
We have a whole group. It was amazing how often we go to Dallas, because we sold one person a car in Dallas that heard his buddy knew Travis, and he's got us in touch with so many people just because of the way we do business and not being crazy with our pricing. And I mean, sometimes I feel like we're delivering to Dallas 3-4 times a month.
Wow.
Because it just, from that one car deal we did, taking care of them, and the word of mouth is like a wildfire.
I'm saying, what I'm seeing, Freddie? I picture, you remember the King of Cars guy back in that TV show he had back in the day? 2.0, Freddie Sosa, right? King of Cars.
I've always wanted to wear a zoot suit.
You can pull it off. I'm telling you can pull that whole thing off if you want. You could.
No, that would be fun, but
again, it goes back to that customer service thing. We were joking about that guy, but at the end of the day, that's what he did. He
branded himself.
Yeah.
That's something that we've always talked about, is what, and it's our slogan.
Yeah.
Come ride for our brand.
Sure.
Our logo is an actual brand.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what we're talking about.
Sure.
We've gotten really good about representing our brand, and then asking people, are you ready to ride for the brand?
Yeah.
And where we're from, I mean, it ties into our agriculture, everything that's about Roswell, New Mexico. And people love coming in, asking about our brand champion program. When we started the lifetime powertrain warranty, it's brought in even more people.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, well, because basically it's the partner for life with the car. And okay, maybe this piece of machinery is ready to be retired or move on, but guess what? We got the next one ready right behind you here, and that's what you're always these new customers, and which you're now seeing from other parts of the country now here, but that's part of whether it was Desert Sun back in the day or Richland now, that same the service side, the dedication, the customers, that part has not changed, and that's why you still have people that were Desert Sun customers 15 years, 20 years, and then they come back, and as soon as Richland's same, time to get the new car, and these were Desert Sun folks that are now Richland folks because that same mindset's there. Yeah.
We were just talking about it before we came on the air, but I mean, you think about since me and you met, we met in 2012, and you've seen how many of the same faces since then until
exactly.
now.
And here's and I'm not trying to throw shade or any of that kind of stuff, but I'm a radio guy. I see a lot of audio industry, and I see what people do and things like that. And I've never worked it, but I know this. On average, salespeople don't last in things. You certainly don't buy a car at a place and then 5 years later see the same sales rep. That's not always. I mean, I'm not saying it's not every time, but one thing I've consistently say is that whether I'm walking into the Richland GM store or the Dodge store, I'm walking and I'm like, oh, there's Freddie. There's it's the same.
So many of the same faces.
So many. I mean, there's some new faces as people retire and go on to their lives, but there's so many people that is called Richland or Desert Sun home pretty much their whole adult life, and that speaks volumes. I don't care what anybody says. People and that amount of people don't stay at one place that long unless they're happy. People that are, especially in an industry where they could literally, if they're not happy there, they can go across the street and get hired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so if they could take that same dedication to the people that work for them, that carries out into the customers they serve. And
you got a great problem when you're not necessarily looking to hire people, but you're having to tell people, I just unsure I have a spot for you.
Sure.
And that's something we run into a lot. We have lots of people who want to try to come on, and we try to, if we feel like they fit in what we're trying to do, we'll give them opportunity. But we've done so well, we don't have a whole lot of turnover. So,
and part of it too is you guys, people can grow up with Richland. I mean, most of these guys we're talking about that have been there they all started pretty much as like right out of high school or teenagers washing cars or doing the entry level stuff at Richland. The housekeeping, so to speak.
We were just talking right before last month we had Brady and Scott from the Dodge store.
Yeah.
And Brady's a Brady and Scott, but we'll talk about Brady. He started off as our wash bay guy when he was 17 years old.
And now he's in the management.
Yeah. 17 years old, and he wanted to wash cars, and all he wanted to do, because he was obsessed with Challengers, was be close to him. And so we hired him to wash cars, and he's just proved what a strong work ethic will do for you. And now he's been given an opportunity to shine.
That's great. And it's happy.
I started in the parts department.
There you go. Your proof's in your pudding too. Yeah, you were kind of the wet behind the ears kid in the parts department.
2007, I was working in the parts department and just made my way. Every time I got asked to try a new opportunity, I said yes.
Well, that's part of it too. These people have they're good character, good work people, and Richland found them and said, well, we're gonna welcome you into the fold, and we're gonna nurture that and support that, and that's what they do. And so now you have these young men and women that started out kind of finding their way in the world and looking for their place in it, and they found it at Richland, and now they're succeeding, flourishing, and doing their own families and doing and probably setting the table for the next generation of young folks that come through that door doing exactly the same thing they did.
Exactly.
So, and so hopefully that's the case, and that'll keep going. And then when your car gets done in 2037, those guys will be there to make sure that vehicle's ready for you too. So that's really the Richland recipe. Really is just treat people right, and do our due diligence on finding inventory and doing our work, and then offering it at a price that people don't find to be gouging or screwing. Just treat people decent, and you'll be fine. And that's the Richland. Really, at the end of the day, all the slogans and things that's the mantra. You treat people good, people will flourish. People will come back to that. People remember that, and that's human. And so, you guys get it. And that's what it takes.
I've said it for a long time. The car business doesn't have to be hard. And so the way we have our pricing, if you look at our website, I mean, we're showing big discounts on the stuff as the things get older. It's time for them to go. I mean, same thing on new and used cars. We have the same mentality that we've always had on used cars as we do new. And so we've always said, what if we can get to one price shopping where there was no negotiating, because we're
so like going to the store and saying I want that one, and you pay for it and walk out.
So when you look at our used cars and you're comparing us to everything else, when you get on Auto Trader, we're in the top 1 or 2 on the best deal out there on most of our used cars. Our new cars, as they get older, they keep getting discounts. When no one else is discounting, they're still marking them up. I mean, all we're doing is saying, hey, come in. I promise you we have something you're looking for, and we'll make it easy as possible.
Absolutely.
And we started with customer service, and now we're in the pricing mechanism. We're getting zeroed in on that. And
you look at like some of those cars you said that aren't moving and things like that, or the low end cars, or later in their life but still good serviceable cars. Those are for that's where you help people with those cars. Someone's like, I really need a car. My credit's awful. I only got. You know what I mean? Like they just don't have the money, or their financing ability is going to look a little bleak here.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of cars that you're like, oh, hey, we got you here. Let's make you payments, do your thing, ride this out. Next thing you know, you're going to be sitting pretty, and we can put you in a much nicer vehicle down, in 2 years or 3 years when you're done with this one. 100%. And by the way, you've just reestablished their credit, something that they're trying to do, and they can't get nothing done because their credit's awful. You guys help them out, put them in an entry-level thing here. They do their part, pay their bills, and do everything. And then next thing you know, they're doing better. They got a credit rating. They can get approved for, maybe a Jeep or a Silverado or something next time.
And it's where we all started. I mean, and if you ever want to hear a car guy say what their favorite thing about the car business is, those experiences right there. When someone comes in saying, hey, I've tried everywhere, you're not going to be able to help me. And then all of a sudden, we make it easy. They buy something. They're not worried about it breaking down. I mean, they're getting something and seeing how happy and excited they are, and just like, you help me and no one else would. And I mean, that's when we get super excited. Like,
well, and the thing where all of us, I'm a little, I'm in my 50 now. I'm a little more seasoned things, but all of us, I think, can relate to that moment in some way, shape, or form if you've lived some kind of life, because all of us have been, none of us just woke up rich and we're rich. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's been a point where you're like, dude, I got money for dinner tonight. Dude, what am I, we've all been there. And then when you hit that moment where you're not feeling like you're in that anymore, there is no other feeling better. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm an adult and I don't have to worry about what's going to be for dinner night, or am I going to be able to make the car payment, but it is such a powerful feeling when you don't have that moment, and you guys really do provide that moment when they finally say, oh, I'm like accepted into the clique a little bit, It's like, I got the car, it's like home ownership for a house, once you buy your first house, you're in the club, and this is kind of the car club, same way, but that car thing will open your world to everything else. Like, if you can get your credit right through and do everything with your car here, that's going to open the door so you can buy your first home and whatever your dreams take you after that.
We always say it's the second biggest purchase most people ever make in a car. And it's really the stepping stone to people for starting, because it's easier to buy a car than it is a house.
Absolutely.
And so this is where you start. We help you get into a car loan, and then it's cool when we see our customers who said, hey, I don't think I could buy anything, all of a sudden buying their third or fourth car from us, and then sending us pictures of the house that they just got. I mean,
and they establish that track record by buying that first car, they're on the lot at Richland.
And I feel
amazing.
I finally feel old in the car business, because now people who I've sold, now their kids are coming back and buying from me, and
it's like you know enough to drive.
Yeah, I got a big group of them that I'm sitting there looking. I'm like, I remember when you were like 6 years old when I sold your parents their first one, and now they're in their mid-20s buying their second car from me already.
Getting married and starting their families, and it's all downhill from here, Freddie. I'm sorry, but
that's why I shave my head. I'm afraid when I let it grow out, it's all
fighting,
gray.
And I still got this 6 hairs up here fighting.
I know they're all gray underneath there,
but that's, if you take nothing else out of this whole conversation, is look, when you're ready to buy a car, come see the folks at Richland. That their point one is to treat people right and give them a positive buying experience and regardless of what car you drive off the lot, whether it's the cheapest one or the most expensive, you're going to get the exact same great care, same service, and everything else. And that's where it's different. And just once you got to get into that fold, I've always said it over the years with Freddie talking to her. I literally, anytime I have to go in there to go do, it's literally walking into some dude's house, sitting on the couch. Hey, I got to get an oil change, and they're like, all right, we'll get you set up. Hey, there's chicken in the other room. You want chicken? That's literally every time I go into there to do something, whether I get a new battery or whatever it is I've done it over the years in there. It's been like that. So, and that's not just me. They do that with every single person, because I'll be sitting there and then some other schmo walks in. Hey, how's it going? Have a seat. Want some chicken? And hear the same thing. So that's just how they do it. And you can appreciate that. So please just come give it a try when you're ready to come big, or maybe give the service department a dance for the first time. If you're like, hey, I need to get some work done on my car. They work on all makes and models. So whether you come to the GM store or the Dodge store, their experts will get you back going or get you where you want to be. And of course, don't forget customized stuff too.
Yeah.
And all you Jeep folks that are like me that like putting things but have no earthly idea how to do any of that stuff, talk to them. They can do all that.
Some of the best deals we've seen on Jeep Wranglers and Gladiators are happening this month right now.
You guys are a little, I noticed driving by the lot the other day, you kind of Gladiator heavy over there, wasn't I think I saw quite a few Gladiators sitting on the front line there.
One of the fastest moving things we have over there right now. It's
I'm really torn. I have no desire to get rid of my Jeep yet. But I'm really torn. I'm like, do I get another Jeep or do I go Gladiator? I'm still leaning Jeep because I love Jeep.
Gladiators are fun though.
But I did drive a Gladiator and it was fun too. I don't know. I'm not making that decision yet. Not yet. My Jeep's still my baby.
Keep talking about it though. You're going to be buying a car live on air. Right?
Yeah. I'm not going to say you're not wrong. But folks, just trust me. This is what I'm talking about. It's really that. It's just. And if you've got issues and stuff, their folks work with you. They really go out of their way to just try to help people. So, especially if you're a first-time car buyer and you're nervous about the experience or don't know, I don't know if it's still this way, but I remember when I was a kid, like your dad would bring you with you when you buy the car or the first time and kind of show you the ropes a little bit. That was kind of a thing when I was a kid. Does it good. I didn't know if that was still a thing. So bring them to Richland. Show them, and it's like, all right, son or daughter, this is not how it normally goes, but just watch and follow. It really is. It's just, it's all about treating everybody right and making everybody happy. And, sure, there's days where things don't work, but they're not going to stop fighting to try to make it right. That's what they do. So, is there anything we want to mention? Any deals, anything that we just got
I'll
spaced out on?
Hit a couple things real fast. We have on the 2023 Buick Encores, we have super low financing because rates are high. So on well-qualified applicants, you can get 3.9% interest for 60 months.
Wow.
And no payments until 2024.
In the land of no zero, no more, the 3.9 is pretty low.
It was very low.
Yeah.
I mean, when 6s and 7s and 8s are kind of the norm now.
Well, 4 years ago, everyone's screaming 0, 0, 0, and that's gone for a while. But 3.9, that's way low.
Well, and with back to school, I mean, money's always tight, and we understand that. So for them to put no payments till 2024. With that is kind of a big deal.
And now you get the car and you get to drive for free for a few months. And then,
exactly.
And then
so like 151 days or something until your first payment. On our half-ton trucks, we have on select models we have 3.9% interest for 60 months as well.
Okay.
Which makes it makes some of these cars where it makes it more enticing for you to come buy when rates are a little bit higher. But that's really our biggest stuff. Our half-ton trucks are going as fast as we can possibly get them. Full-size trucks and full-size SUVs, that we're still struggling to keep those on the lot because they don't last more than a day or two.
Yeah, it's just, and please be advised if you're shopping and you're at, say, the Dodge store, don't hesitate to roll right on over to the GM store if you don't see anything on Either one's got a great selection of pre-owns right now. And obviously, if you're more of a Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler person, then going on over there. And if you're more of a Chevy, Buick, Cadillac person, go on over to the Richland GM store there.
We got all of our bases covered, so between our two stores, we should have anything you're looking for.
Absolutely. So you can have the debate, whether you're a Chevy or Ram driver, and because I know truck people that Ford, Chevy, Ram, and whatever the debate, they got you covered. Go to the Ram dealership, go to the Chevy dealership. They can get you in your GMC or your Chevy or your Dodge Ram. Good deal. Well, Freddie, as always, appreciate the visit, and I'm sure you got a few fires to stomp out when you head to the office there, and we'll see you here in a couple weeks.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Good deal. Have a good weekend. Stay cool.
Yes.
AC's working good at the offices?
Yeah, we went out for a little bit, but we got it back going.
In business?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, because that stinks. Because you're out in a lot, and it's hot, and those reps, and then, the sales guys, they're out there, and it's hot, and it's like, I'm going to come in and cool off. Oh, wait.
Even worse in here. But
Yeah.
no, we're doing good. We got a cool dealership, so just come on down, see us, and have a good time.
And if you don't feel like walking the line, put your underpants on, get on the computer, shop online, and then find the ones you like, and then just go to see those when you get to the dealership.
Yep.
So, good deal. Well, thank you, Freddie. We'll see you here next time. 7:50.
Roofers make your insurance company out to be your enemy. They'll talk about fighting and battling your insurance to get you the claim you deserve. But honestly, your insurance company is a group of people just like you and me. That's why we don't treat your roof insurance claim like we're going to war. We treat it like a court case. We provide your insurance company every piece of evidence needed to get you the highest possible claim. We submit photos, videos, detailed documents, and line-by-line estimates. And guess what? Our non-combat approach works. On 92% of roof insurance claims, we get the highest amount the first time. And the rare times we don't, well then, that's when we go to bat for you. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
The lot at Roswell Ford is fully loaded, and that means savings across the lot on both new and pre-owned vehicles. With zero down, no payments for 90 days, and 0.9% APR on select vehicles across the lot. Plus, brand new Broncos, Bronco Raptors, F-150s, and Super Duty Ford trucks. The Roswell Ford pre-owned lot is layered deep with great low-mileage vehicles, including Challenger, Corvette, Broncos, F-150s, and more. Worried about your credit score? Well, worry no more. With a job bringing home just $3.99 a week, Roswell Ford's aggressive lenders will push to get you approved. And Roswell Ford will take any trade, any condition, even if you owe thousands more than your car's value. Hurry to Roswell Ford today because the rebates, discounts, and savings have never been bigger. All happening now at Roswell Ford, the home of Tailgate Nation at the corner of 9th and Main.
Rosa, have you decided where you're going to college yet?
There's so many choices. I'm still not sure.
Well, I've decided to attend the University of New Mexico. It's the only Research One university in the state. It's the flagship, and their academic programs are among the best in the nation.
The University of New Mexico? Can I still apply?
Of course. UNM is New Mexico's best university, and residents of New Mexico get preference in admission. Apply now, and we'll attend UNM together.
The University of New Mexico, New Mexico's University of Opportunity. Apply today at unm.edu.
No static at all. Your new home for talk radio is KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. And now there are 4. As of today, India, the 4th country to land on the moon.
This is an extraordinary feat for India's ambitious space program. It is now in an elite class of space explorers, the only country in the world to make it to the south pole of the moon, a region that gets little to no sunlight, but scientists believe could have ancient pockets of ice water. This mission was decades in the making and has catapulted India's position in the global space race.
The BBC's Samira Hussein. Tonight's the night. Milwaukee, the place. The Wisconsin city is hosting the first Republican presidential candidates debate of the 2024 election season.
9 GOP candidates qualified for the debate, but only 8 will be on stage this evening. Pointing to his large lead in the polls, Donald Trump will not participate. The other 8, especially those polling in the low single digits, hope to grab more of the spotlight and create a breakout moment during the 2-hour debate. A few candidates who did not meet the RNC's donor and polling requirements are blasting the process as corrupt and rigged. Greg Clugston, Washington.
New poll finds that many Americans have serious concerns about the safety of COVID-19 vaccines.
About a third of those responding to a poll by KFF say they believe the COVID-19 vaccine, quote, caused thousands of sudden deaths in otherwise healthy people. 10% said the statement was definitely true. 23% say it's probably true. About a quarter of respondents say vaccinations against the measles, mumps, and rubella can lead to autism in children. Bob Agnew reporting.
Parts of the country's midsection are sweltering. They're seeing some of the hottest temperatures of the summer so far. On Wall Street, the Dow up 123 points. The Nasdaq ahead 184 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
108,000.
Russia and Ukraine traded drone attacks overnight.
Odessa Regional Military Administration head Oleg Kipper writes on the Telegram messaging app a 3-hour nighttime Russian drone attack in Ukraine's southern Odessa region overnight on Tuesday had caused a blaze at grain facilities, while Ukrainian air defense systems downed 9 Shahed drones. Unfortunately, there were hits on production and transshipment complexes, Kipper says, adding that no casualties have so far been reported. Russia zeroed in on Odessa last month, crippling significant parts of the port city's grain facilities, days after President Vladimir Putin broke off Moscow's participation in the Black Sea Grain Initiative. I'm Charles de la Desma.
Tropical storm Franklin bringing very heavy rains to the Dominican Republic and Haiti. There are concerns about the possibility of devastating floods. News and analysis, townhall.com. Dollar Tree and Family Dollar agree to a deal with U.S. regulators aimed at improving worker safety at their stores.
Labor Department officials cited blocked exits, unsafe storage, and improper access to fire extinguishers and electrical panels at Dollar Tree and Family Dollar stores. OSHA issued 403 violations since 2017, resulting in more than $13.1 million in fines and $1.4 million in penalties. Under the agreement, the company must fix the violations within 2 years. In the future, if hazards are not fixed within 48 hours of an OSHA notification, the company can face a $100,000 fine per day. I'm Julie Walker.
2 people suffered minor injuries. A shooting outside an Alabama A&M University residence hall. Police in Huntsville say it was a result of a fight between 2 people and not a mass shooting incident. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tracy Mirna.
Oh, he beat you to the trace. Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope all of you are having a delightful day thus far. Kind of overcast. I like it. This is a nice change for me. I know some people, this is not your thing. Some people love the sun and heat, hence the reason you live here in this part of the world. But I like this. This is a nice change. Overcast, a little cooler. Don't feel like I'm roasting at 9 o'clock in the morning.
It's beautiful out there.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Drink it in.
Absolutely.
But we do have rain chances, just not. I think it's going to be like this all day with a high of 93 or something. So, I don't think, they say mostly cloudy.
It's such a weird, place we are that 93 sounds just like a dream come true.
In this last couple months, yeah, it does.
I just want to go find a field and frolic. I know I'll sweat afterwards, but
it's always funny how people are with weather. Because we're a fickle bunch, and I'm no different. It's all of us, but we're never satisfied with the weather. I guess maybe if you live in, I've never been to San Diego, but I hear it's always sunny and 70 in San Diego, so I'm kind of well, and I'm guessing that's why the people that live there because they like sunny and 70. I'm sure it's not that way. I mean, it just seems that way, but we all can't have that. And I'm thinking, even if it's sunny and 70 all the time, there's still people I don't like this. I want it hotter. I want it colder. We're never satisfied. So, but that being said, I'm enjoying this. This part's better.
I completely missed that it rained.
It rained. Well, it didn't take long. So, I'm going to say around 4:30, 5 o'clock-ish, somewhere in that time frame.
Yeah.
I caught thunder. And there was some thunder, and I caught a couple rounds of thunder, and I'm like, huh. And then I heard spatter, 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 and then a hard spatter, 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 and then it just stopped. So I'm thinking the whole thing lasted with the thunder and then the rain. I think I was done. I think it was all 15 minutes. From the time I heard the first clap of thunder to the time I stopped hearing rain pitty patter on the roof.
Yeah, I was here.
It was about 15 minutes.
It was less than that where I was at.
Yeah.
Because where I was at, I was actually in my car. I rolled both my windows down and then just enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. My car got soaked. I don't care. It was about 10 minutes because it started, it rained, it stopped, and then it came back real heavy, and then it stopped again.
Okay, so it came in waves. Mm-hmm. Well, so it's easy to miss.
I like it.
So if you missed it, it was easy to miss.
See, I was here at the studio all the way until 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even know it rained until I left the studio and I saw those puddles outside.
That happened to me day before yesterday. Mm-hmm. We got a rainstorm at 2 in the afternoon or something, and for 5 minutes here, and I didn't even see it out the window, and then I went outside to go do something real quick, and I was like, oh, why is the ground all wet? It must have rained.
That or a water main.
Yeah.
Last week, I heard the biggest thunder boom ever.
Were you thunderstruck?
Yeah.
Thunderstruck.
By the way, because there was no warning either.
Yeah.
It was just a big loud gunshot in my house. And there was no so I think what happened was it all just sort of.
Did you pee a little?
Culminated.
I would have.
It just sort of all culminated in around over my house, I think.
This is literally his description of him being thunderstruck. Have you ever played that game?
Thunderstruck?
Yes.
I guess I haven't.
It's a drinking game.
Okay.
Okay, so here's what happens. Every time you start with like a group of people, and every time they say the word thunder, the next person starts drinking.
Okay.
Here's why that game is so dangerous. Because at one point, they don't say thunder for like a minute and 37 seconds.
Oh, wow.
So one person is stuck just like
holding.
And at that point, you're just like sipping on whatever you're drinking.
So you play the song and then...
Yeah.
And then, okay. Now, the only game of that nature I played...
It's also the Goddard Rockets football team starting team.
There you go. And kids don't play these at home. The only game I ever played of that nature was a game called Sailors, Oars, and Vikings.
Okay.
So you're in a circle of your friends. So the person that starts the song or starts the thing is the Viking. And the Viking has to put their horn.
I've seen this.
And they go, oh-ee-oh. Yo-ho. Right. And then the Vikings, the person to the left has to oar on the left side. The person to the right has to oar on the right side. And so the Viking going, oh-wee-oh, oh, and then after a while goes, Sean. And then Sean has to go, oh-wee-oh. And the person to the left of Sean has to. And then when you screw up, you have to drink.
Sure.
That's the game.
That's a fun one.
I only played that one.
Oh, and these are by the way, milkshakes.
Yes.
Malted milkshakes.
Ice Cream Wasted is, was it Grown Ups or whatever movie that was?
I want to get ice cream wasted, yeah.
Yeah, that's that one. Yeah, that one. So do it with your ice cream shake. Although be careful, freezer. Was it freezer brain? What do you call that?
Brain freeze.
Brain freeze. Thank you. Yeah, beware of that.
Or ice cream headache, whatever.
No, I've always called brain freeze. Brain freeze or brain pain. That's another fun one.
Insane in the brain pain.
Fun fact, kids, and now we're back talking to the kids again. If you ever get one of those, you just rub the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth, back and forth.
That helps.
It's supposed to cure it.
Has it?
Because it's done it for me.
Or did it just go in on its own?
It might just go in on its own.
Rubbing your tongue on the top of your mouth.
I don't know.
It's working, see?
Well, what the theory is that it moves your tongue around in your throat and it warms it up, warms it back up.
I didn't know if it was some kind of acupressure thing or something. That's a pressure point in the roof of your mouth. It's like a button to heat your brain.
It is, yeah. Totally is.
Because we have those buttons, right? Don't we have buttons at the acupuncture? You want to get rid of your headache, you touch
You ever seen the reflexology map of the foot?
Yeah.
It's the creepiest thing I've ever seen in my whole life because it's like you touch certain parts of the foot and it affects the liver.
I remember in my younger days, someone told me like rubbing the middle of the palm of your hand back and forth helps to alleviate headaches.
I've heard that, yeah.
I don't know if I tried it. Remember back in the day, headache, and I'm sitting there doing this, and I don't recall ever feeling better. I recall feeling better when I popped a couple aspirin.
But you rub the temples. You rub your temples.
That always seems to help.
It does a little bit, and it depends on where the headache is.
Because there's pressure points here.
Mine is
with the blood
either
vessels.
the temples or right here where my eyes connect. If I just rub that spot right there, that usually helps my headaches.
Yeah. So,
also, if you see me rubbing either one of those points, stay away from me. I don't know why I looked right at Roy when I said that. But
I was going to help you rub those points.
Oh, that's nice. He's a giver.
I appreciate it.
I don't know. I'm going to leave.
Yeah, we need to get the interview going.
We really
it's
do.
35 minutes long. We're going to play our interview. John with Oasis Computers joined us last Wednesday morning and talking tech with us. People seem to love his tech talks, so we'll replay your tech talk with you here in just a few. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather while Sean and Roy rub the temples there. That's what's going to happen while the weather's going. We'll be back.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have some tropical air on the way, and that may bring us some showers and thunderstorms today. Partly sunny, and our afternoon highs in the low 90s. The wind will be a little gusty, around 25 miles an hour. Scattered showers and thunderstorms overnight, our low dropping to about 70, and then we'll be getting sunshine on Thursday, mid to upper 90s for the afternoon high. Maybe a few isolated showers. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 76 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 62% with winds out of the south at 3 miles per hour. There is a 50% chance at showers and thunderstorms for today. Mostly cloudy and a high of 92 expected. Winds will be out of the east, 10 to 20 miles per hour, so a bit breezy out there. They say new rainfall expected is less than 1/10 of an inch, unless we get like an actual thunderstorm that rolls through the area. 50% chance at showers and thunderstorms for tonight as well, mainly before midnight, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 69 degrees. Winds will be out of the south, 10 to 15 miles per hour early, dropping down 5 to 10 after midnight tonight. Again, expect less than 1/10 of an inch of rain unless we get a thunderstorm rolling through the area. Thursday, we're looking at a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly cloudy with a high of 94. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, sunny and a high of 99. South winds 5 to 15, so weather should be just fine and dandy for football Friday night. Looking at the weekend, for Saturday, sunny and a high of 98. For Sunday, there is a 20% chance of showers, sunny with a high of 98. And that kind of, as of right now, it sets the tone for a few days of rain chances. Sunday night, we're looking at a 30% chance of rain. Monday, a 50% chance. And Tuesday, a 30% chance. And that's as far as I've got on mine. So who knows? Could get some moisture here in the next few days. Maybe even today. Knock on wood. Wash your cars. All right, 9:17. We're going to take a 2.5-minute commercial break. Then we're going to play our interview with John from Oasis Computers. That's up next. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Roswell Skin Center, a brand new state-of-the-art facility located in the 400 Penn Plaza building here in Roswell, is now accepting new patients. Dr. Brandon Cometti and his team offer a full range of skin care services, including general dermatology, surgical and cosmetic procedures, including cutting-edge laser rejuvenation, Botox, filler, laser hair removal, chemical peels, and other non-invasive options to improve skin health and turn back the hands of time. Call and schedule your appointment at Roswell Skin Center today. 208-2509. That's 208-2509.
It's upgrade season at Roswell Honda. Pre-owned vehicles are in incredibly high demand, and that means more than ever before for your trade. And with the Roswell Honda upgrade program, they'll go the extra mile for you. They'll buy your vehicle outright, or you can trade up, even if you still owe money on your old vehicle. Upgrade to something new, or take the instant cash. And with 0.9% APR available, lease a 2023 Honda Civic or CR-V for just $259 a month. Now's the time to upgrade and save at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Ever had someone do something kind and out of the ordinary for you? How did that make you feel? I know for me, it brightens my day. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for the Joy of Marriage.
Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not get tired of doing what's right, for after a while we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't get discouraged and give up." I've learned when you don't know what to do, just do the next right thing. Keep sowing good things into your spouse and your family. Be patient. God promises He will give you a harvest. It will make a difference. A successful farmer just keeps on working and expects to have a great harvest.
I know when my husband brings me flowers, it blesses me. So do something unexpected for your spouse. It will pay off.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
As part of the ongoing effort to keep the roads of New Mexico safe, we would like to share a list of things you should never attempt behind the wheel of your automobile.
Texting your friends, wrestling your friends, eating a sandwich, making a sandwich, hugging your kids, buckling your kids, brushing your hair, brushing your teeth, flossing your teeth, adjusting your seat, rubbing your feet, reading the paper, using a shaver, applying makeup, applying to college.
A large number of car crashes occur when the driver is doing something other than driving. Drive safe, New Mexico.
Paid for by the New Mexico Department of Transportation and aired in cooperation with the NMBA and the station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Oasis Computers, John's back with us. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
How's life at the shop this morning?
Very busy. Well, this morning it's not busy yet, but
it will be in an hour or so.
We don't know,
here.
but the last 2 weeks have been, to put it mildly, nuts.
Okay.
But it's good. I'm not complaining.
Is a lot of it back to school type stuff? People get
I'm not
computers
sure why it
and
suddenly
stuff
kicks
ready?
in. I think it's a combination of stuff. The first 3 months of the year were lousy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in a way nice because you could get everything done easily.
Time to play catch up.
So, and then the last 2 months have been kicking in, and the last 3 weeks have been like hard to keep up with it, trying to get everything out because it works two ways for me.
It's either
one man shop. If there's nobody in, I got plenty of time to fix it.
Sure.
If instead of one machine gets brought in, 10 gets in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then in the afternoon you got to do 10 of them, and you start running out of time. But
sure.
Catching up a little bit. It's dying off a little bit, but yeah, it's been great.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're keeping busy. That's a good thing in your world here.
Yep.
So. Of course, for folks not familiar, John joins us once a month from Oasis Computers, and we talk technology and tips and things like that. But if you are a person that is looking to either purchase a new computer or bring life back to one you already have, or maybe time to maybe take your old dinosaur and turn it into a Corvette, maybe, John can help you do that. Or at least, maybe like a, I don't know, Camaro. I don't know. A Mustang.
We can make the old machine perform like it should at least, and most likely improve on it.
There you go. Make it run from like an old Ford Taurus to a new Ford Taurus.
Something like that. Of course, if it's not worth fixing, I'm the first to say it's not worth fixing.
Sure, exactly. But that's where John's that guy can help you. And if you need advice on, going to different ways to access media and stuff, John can help you hardware-wise navigate all that kind of stuff. So
that's correct.
Good deal. So I know we were talking earlier, and one thing we always, because one of the big things John deals with a lot is when he deals with repairs and things like that, he's got to ask questions to get in there, and a lot of it's doing with security and things like that. So
right.
Something we always talk about a lot is passwords
one of our
and things.
biggest problems seems to be, me included, I include myself in this group somewhat too, because I have to pull myself together once in a while.
Well, we're all humans, and we remember what we remember, right?
Yeah, of course, I'd never make a mistake. Well,
I know it all. I just can't remember it all at once.
No, we have a technical term for what a big part of the problem is. It's called PEPCAG.
Okay.
Very technical. It stands for problem exists between keyboard and chair.
Oh, okay.
And literally, it's not understanding how it works, being bamboozled or whatever the word you use by Microsoft with their updates. Mm-hmm. They don't make the machine work when they're updating as you would expect. Keep running into that. And learning to understand these things, what's going on, and then just, not understanding it means learning a little bit about it, and where do you go? What do you do? Well, you can come to the store. I can help you, guide you in the right direction. But there's many things somebody can do by themselves.
Sure. And then also, too, I would say that because there's a learning curve on a lot of this, it's hard to teach something in layman's terms sometimes. You know what I mean? Like if you're trying to do certain computer things.
Part of the problem is, especially if it's over the phone.
Yeah, some of the vocabulary might not make sense.
Well, that green thing with a red spot in it, that's the middle of my screen. What is that for?
Right.
I don't know. So that's where we can log in remotely and help with that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the other day, I literally had a call like that. It's like, can you help me over the internet with the, like you have done before for me? What's your problem? My internet is not working.
Well, then I can't help you over the internet.
Sometimes it's very common sense. Think about that.
Yeah.
And we keep running into the problems with people still clicking on things that they shouldn't click on. Bad emails, whatever. I keep using the example of somebody come running in and it's like, my Bank of America account is compromised. They're going to take all the money out and whatever.
Yeah. They get good. I mean, I mean,
here is the common sense thing. I've learned to say, do you have a Bank of America account?
Right.
No, I don't even have one.
Well, then you don't have to worry about it.
Exactly. But that's like, yeah, I guess.
But if you're not in that world or you're in that world barely, they're getting better at disguising their fake stuff. Like, you got to pay attention a little bit, especially if you have a Bank of America account. You're like, okay, you got it, but if you start looking at numbers and location of the email, it's gonna.
The thing is that people believe that it's really help or they're trying to warn you,
Sure.
whatever. Oh, the Bank of America.
They think it's legit.
If you see on many bank websites, if you get an email from us or something to that effect, you know, that's maybe not us, whatever, things like that. So understanding what it is. So if you're sure or if you're not sure, but you want to know, then you don't call the number they present you with.
Yeah, don't go to them.
Don't click on the link they give you.
That's like asking the robber if you're a robber.
Don't believe. Don't believe anything they say, basically, even though it may be them that for sure. What you do is you pick up the phone, you call your bank on that number they have, and said, "You know, there's a problem with my account." And most likely the answer will be, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you tell them and say, hey, I got an email. It looks like it's from Bank of America. And it says I got an account. And they'll be like, no, we did not try to contact you.
But where are we going? Well, I don't know if we're going wrong again. Where are we being messed up by Microsoft again? It's notifications. I don't know how much you use the machine, but on the latest updates in Windows 10 and Windows 11 now, I don't know when it started, a year ago, 2 years ago. We have now notification. Bottom right-hand corner is notification. They keep popping up. I think they got the idea from cell phones, whatever. You get notified and see what you do.
Yeah, it's very similar to that.
And I personally really despise with all my might notifications.
Well, the thing that makes me mad about it is half the time they're giving me notifications of things I just did. It's like your software is up to date. I know that because I just updated it.
Well, that's not. Notifications come from everywhere.
Well, but it comes from that same spot. Like I get notifications and then I get those things. Yeah.
Pick up where I left off here. We finally have trained people about what we just said. Do not click on it, call the bank, you know, things like that. So when emails come in and such things, people are slowly really getting better at it, much better at it. It's not as bad anymore as it is. They start realizing we're being tricked into whatever. Don't fall for it. Don't panic. People have all learned it. Notifications showed up, and one of the notifications in notifications is your email that just came in. So what happens is when you get an email and you would just look at your email, like for me, for instance, I come in the morning, I check my emails. Bunch of crap in it, I'll delete it, whatever. And then a couple of I'll handle whatever I need to do. And that's it for email.
Sure.
I may check later in the day when I'm not busy. I may check when I go home. But many days, like the last 2 weeks, been busy. I check that only in the morning, and that's plenty. I don't need to. You know, it's like the mail. Do you have?
Do you go to the mailbox 20 times a day?
Right. You know. Would you like if the mailman brought you one letter every 10 minutes or something? You know, whatever. And
be bad if you're waiting on.
But what happens now is, so you get notified that you have an email, and it shows a little bit of the email in it. And guess what it says in it? Your Microsoft account is compromised. We can help with this, or whatever it says in the email. And what do people think now? Now
that comes through notifications, they think it's legit.
Yeah, yes, they think it's a message from the computer.
Right.
So the other thing with notifications is, at first I didn't pay much attention to it, but it's been becoming real clear. Anybody walking in and whatever we do on the machine, it's almost automatic. Oh, by the way, this thing on the right-hand side that keeps popping up, do you like that? No, what is that? Well, you can turn notifications off really easy under notifications in settings, and then you don't get them no more.
So that's probably good.
I really need only one notification really in general.
Yeah.
And that is the alarm clock in the morning to wake me up.
Well, and that's what, like my notifications, because I have it on there, and I don't do much on that computer. I usually just kind of goof around on it. I don't really do real work on that computer. And it combines because you get the notifications, but it also does that same little thing on the right. Also, anytime you do a scan of your virus or do anything, and so it all pops into there, and I'm like, I don't want any of that.
Virus scan shows up.
Yeah.
Emails show up. But what is worse is you go to a website. You hear politics these days. Okay, you go to this new thing that you heard about. Doesn't matter whether you're on one side or the other side, all of them push the same thing. So go to better for the election.com or whatever. They pop up left and right. We have so many now; it's not even funny anymore.
And how much more legit?
I paid attention to a few of them, and suddenly in this year, it's like, where's this one coming from? What did they all seem to connect together? So it's I got rid of all of them.
A lot of people looking for their niche.
I know where I want to vote. I have my mind made up, so I don't care. And
I tend to do your way.
Right. So, but anyway, when you go to that, and whether it's, you sign up with Sam's Club, whatever, you've never been a member of Sam's Club, you sign up with it, or you were a member, but you re-sign up, then you can go on the website, and, Sam's Club have the little app on the phone where you can check out with it and things like that, all great and wonderful. You go website to check out whatever reason, Sam's Club, and then it says, do you want notifications from us? So when Sam's Club has the toilet paper on sale, hey, toilet paper on sale, and mails you out to it. Hey, we got coffee on sale, mails you out to it. Hey, we got, and that I despise. That I don't need that. So I don't want any notifications from anything. Why do they want notification? Well, it keeps them on your mind.
Absolutely.
Oh, Sam's Club is out. Oh, Sam's Club. Oh, before you know it.
It's marketing 101.
Right.
Front of mind, front of, then you're thinking about their product.
What I think is, effective, but in the long run, it may not be.
Sure.
We got the situation where we're all mad.
Well, and I think I don't think people would mind it as much if that wasn't what most people think is an end to being hacked or being, misguided. So because that's the avenue they can get you. Because in essence, you click to come in, and once you do that, you've opened them up to you.
Well, how do you put it? They almost steer you in the direction of having notification. They may not force it up on you, but you say, we have this, this, and this, and you get notification, check mark in it.
Sure.
And you get this, maybe something else not check marked in it. So, you want these default settings? Yes. And then you start getting a notification.
Sure.
And then sometimes when you try to unnotify it, you can't get rid of it.
Yeah. It looks like that cheese in the mousetrap, doesn't it?
Yeah, cheese and mousetrap.
You're like, I want that cheese.
Something like that. Yes. So, that's where we have a problem at the moment. I thought we got ahead with the email thing, and now we've got this again. And
so you probably recommend if you don't use those notifications for anything anyway, turn them off. That way you don't have to be confused or possibly
well, let me put it from my point
of
of view. I have no friggin' idea why I want those notifications, and I hate them.
I think
that's
most
where
people.
I'm standing.
I think most people really don't need them.
I have not had anybody in the store that said, "Yes, I really like them."
Yeah.
I have gone as far with 3-4 customers. Well, I'm not sure. Let's leave them. But all the other 1,000 that have been in, it's like, oh, thank God you can get rid. Oh, thank you. So that's how bad that is. It's just a thing that's not working out real well, in my opinion.
Sure. Well, and I. This is you and I've had this discussion. I really think there's people at Microsoft because every time there's a Windows version of Windows that comes out. They move everything around, and you always wonder how much of this was for action function and how much of it was just to say that they did something different. I don't, you know what I mean?
Well, I've been angry with Microsoft for about the duration of Windows 10.
Yeah.
Because they keep changing, they keep modifying. At the same time, we talk about it this show
Sure,
here.
yeah.
We talk about, why can't they make it better? Why don't they make it better? Well, Windows 11 came out, and that was another one of what the heck's going on.
Sure.
Windows 11, same as Windows 10. It just looked different.
And I would also argue they say better. I'm like, it is better for you or them. It doesn't matter. It's better for somebody.
Not last year when the first version was out.
Yeah.
But at the end of last year when the second version came out, it suddenly is like, oh, I see. What happened was that the first version, I think, should not have been put out, but Microsoft always does that.
Yeah.
And now all the things I've been complaining about and what have been a problem seem to be getting fixed to a certain extent. We had an issue that the taskbar has been rewritten in the software, completely new. Not added, modified, whatever. And from people that program, I understand that taskbar is now less than half the size in programming as what it used to be.
Okay.
But when they flipped that, there wasn't quite as many features in it as we had before. And over time, some of them have come back, and some of them work slightly different, but basically the same.
Okay.
But what we're asking for, make the software better, I think they made it better. The other thing is that, this being online in the Microsoft account, how many times have why do they do that?
Yeah.
Well, the people come in now, they have a Microsoft account being forced up on them because they couldn't get past it, and their hard drive went bad. And it's like, of course you have a backup, right? Well, I was going to make one tomorrow.
Sure.
You know how it goes. And but the nice thing is that, do you have a Microsoft account? Oh, I'm not sure. What's your email? So-and-so at hotmail.com. You have something linked with Microsoft. Very well likely that you've been forced into turning it into a Microsoft account. They push that really, really hard. It's hard to not get there. And then when we get in there, then when we look that up in Microsoft online, yes, that account exists. Supply the password. Well, I don't know. You know?
Right. I'm curious you know, why they, you know, because like you said, why do they keep doing this stuff? And is the answer...
Okay, I'll get to it.
Well, I'm curious because I think, is the answer, are they training us for the next thing?
No.
Okay. Because part of me thinking...
I've come to the conclusion they actively are caring for you and helping you.
Okay.
Not everywhere, but...
Well, I just wonder, like are they adding these new features to basically train us to get ready for the next generation of technology?
Let me just finish off, and it will be clear.
Okay.
So we then get to reset the password because they don't know it. So, and let's assume that it's not totally screwed up and that it works. You know, so send a message to this phone number. You have that phone with you? Yes. Get the code off it, put in. Then you go into Microsoft account, and then you go under OneDrive. And then you say, are these most of your files over here? Oh, my God, yes, they are. So instead of not wanting that account, that most people do, and we have staunch deniers of it that ended up in a Microsoft account and lost stuff and then said, oh, thank God. So that's helpful. That's very helpful. Your stuff is more and more online if you have the Microsoft account. The other thing is, people always used to come in to have the machine redone, whatever, and whatever. If you know a little bit more how to reset it, but it's fairly easy, and we haven't used that in the past because of some issues with it. But it again, since Windows 11 second version came out, that's been working. So you have that Microsoft account, and you buy yourself a new machine. You have your old machine set up, a background on it, whatever, some things like that. And now, when you set up the new machine, a normal end user will not be able to set it up without making or having a Microsoft account.
Gotcha.
So let's say you have the Microsoft on the other account, on the other machine, the old machine, and you say, well, pete@msn.com and a password with it. It goes on. And then before you know it, you got your files back because for the same reason.
Sure.
You got your background back. And this we just get the hang of it.
It's like this with our phones, you know.
Yes.
I don't know how Android works because I don't have one, but for Apple,
it works same at Android.
It all goes to iTunes and everything.
You get a new phone. Do you want to?
Yeah, and you just literally plug it in and updates it right to your. It looks just like your old phone.
I've had to wipe my Android phone out because we had some problem that we didn't understand what the heck was going on between two phones under one account. So it was somehow logged wrong, and like 45 minutes with tech support, and they couldn't figure it out till with the answers I got from him. Finally, I went like, duh, I think the wrong account somewhat. So I logged in with the other account, and that made it work. I had to log in, I think, with the main account on the other phone to make the other phone work on the account it is on the other phone.
Right.
So something to that effect. And then, in the process, I said, well, wipe my phone out, reset it, because I don't know what's going on. And then when you say you want to restore from the net, yes, the same thing happens now on the computer.
Gotcha.
Hadn't thought of it this way, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah, that's kind of, well, here's what I would even make to go one beyond that, because I think the plan is at some point everything's going to be in the cloud. The hard drives and stuff are going to be less and less needed. They'll keep them on computers to keep whatever's on there. But I think when it comes to storing stuff, it's all going to be in the cloud, not on your computers anymore.
Well, right now it's. I
think that's where they're trying to push us.
Well, right now it's more of a hybrid. You can have everything on your computer and it'd be backed up to the cloud. But it doesn't need to be only on the cloud. So what effectively that does is you got two copies of the same thing. Whatever we always said, you have nothing unless you have at least two copies of the same thing.
Right.
And we still run into that. So that's being handled pretty good. Now, on the other hand, with Microsoft, they I think I've been looking at like Apple, how this been done, and the cell phones. Hadn't thought about that. Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah.
So they've been working on doing the same thing on the Microsoft stuff, whatever, the related Microsoft. And lost my train of thought. It just works.
Sure.
Oh yes. Now, what they've been looking at Apple for this was my point, but maybe also at Android and how this all works.
Sure.
On the other hand, they look at Google. And what does Google do? Google doesn't make really anything or very little. Well, they make their money. They make their money by doing search and then selling advertising versus that.
They're the doorman to everything else.
So now Microsoft sells stuff and makes money that way.
Sure.
And then Google makes search. Well, Microsoft said, we want to make more money with that too. We can do search. So for the last 10 years, they've been pushing search and search and search. First, it was like, why? Then it's like, duh. They can then sell advertising also.
Sure.
And it is falling somewhat in place, but I'm not sure if I agree that a company that makes stuff should put advertising in your product that you're buying from them. So the first advertising we have now is, you want Microsoft Office, you want Xbox, you want this, you want this, you want this. When you set a machine up, you have 5 pages of you want these things.
Yeah.
Again, some of them very helpful because they also push Microsoft 365, what used to be Office.
Well, you think if they're going to do that, then the price of the computer should come down.
Well, let me finish that out too. So you buy the computer and included in the price is some cost for the Windows. So that goes to Microsoft. You don't. It's not specified out. Whatever. On my end, it is basically. But for me, you can buy a machine without Windows on it if you want. Put Linux on it or whatever you want.
Yeah.
But in general, it's always on there, and 99.9% of machines we sell have Windows pre-installed on. It's included in the price.
Sure.
So that gives you 5 gigabytes, I believe, of storage. That's storage. That's very helpful. Well, 5 gigabytes is not really enough. Now they want to push their Office product. And, there's a lot of new things included and added into it. A lot of it I don't use because it's for businesses with multiple people in it so they can collaborate. And I'm
you don't need to collaborate with nobody.
I sometimes
you start collaborating with yourself, you might need to go talk to a doctor.
Right, I have to study up on it, how it works, because I don't actually use it, So
if you have a business meeting with yourself, let me know. I want to see that.
Okay. Every day, I'll write it here.
I want a formal with a table, and let's record the minutes.
But anyway, so they're pushing the Office product, the Microsoft 365, pretty hard. And nobody wants, but not nobody, many people know there's OpenOffice, LibreOffice, with all these things. But then to be completely compatible, and the gold standard is still then Microsoft Office, Microsoft 365 now. And but why would you buy it? It's $100 a year.
Right.
But you get, believe it's a terabyte of storage included with that. Now, for $100 a year, I have some storage from Google right now. I have moved in the past to Google and tried it out more than anything else. I'm paying $100 a year for that. And that's all I get, plus the free Office product from Google, because they always had it free.
Right.
So this would make me think maybe I ought to use Microsoft stuff, pay that $100 a year for it. It's always up to date. That's
and
the
you get a
benefit
terabyte of space.
You get a terabyte of storage. What at first doesn't look very important until all your stuff is gone. You mail it off to Drive Savers, what we recommend, and we give you a flyer for it. Here, call these folks. They probably can get your data back. Sometimes they cannot. And then the price could be between $2,000 to $4,000 for that.
Whoa!
So they're looking like $100 a year.
$100 a year looking pretty good right now, isn't
it? Right. So,
I just saw the time, and I know you want to talk on another issue too. So I want to kind of get some time for that too. But
I think that the other issue we should just keep for next time.
Okay.
because
it's a little bigger than what the time we got left.
Well,
probably.
we got, it's like the same thing every time here. We get to talk, and then before we know it, time's over. The things we were wanting to talk about is where you can learn.
Sure.
And password and password manager. So I think I was going to talk about all of this today.
Right.
But maybe we have 2 more sessions going.
We got the next couple months worth of topics.
Yes,
here,
we have topics lined out, and I think they're important.
But that is a good resource, is using some of the online stuff. And I know that's a double edge. You're like, wait a minute, so you want me to go online to figure out how to do things online?
Well, let me, since our time gets close to being done here, let me put it this way. You walk in my store, and you say, how do I do this, this, and this? Whatever that is. And I look at you and go like, I have no freaking idea. And then you look at me and say, I thought you were the computer guy. So, yeah, but I can help you.
Sure.
So I turn around to my computer here. So how do you do this, this, and this? Exactly what you said in Google. And then I get an answer, and I go, you do it this, this, and this way.
Sure.
And then they look at me real stupid and say, well, I could have done that.
Well, why didn't you?
Exactly my answer. You take the words off my mouth. So we want to, talk about how you can get to things and the pitfalls of it, because you get all the answers, but you get all the crooks too if you're not careful.
Sure, and that's the thing too, is like if that person Googled it and you Googled it, you have the savvy to know that's a legit answer versus that's someone trying to...
That's why we need to teach. That's where I need to teach people to sort through the answers correctly.
Sure.
That is hard to find on the internet. And, people that do this stuff assume you know that. Well, that's crap. That's no good. That's fake.
But if you have no knowledge base to begin with...
Most people Google something, click on the first one, and then it's like add. This company is not known by nobody, and this is a well-known company. But if you're not into this business, then maybe you don't know that.
Which is another marketing ploy where there's all kind of tips and tricks for businesses to try to be the top Google search when you Google things and all that. So
and then
it's all part of marketing.
Yeah, and then the last thing we were wanting to talk about was the password manager and things like that. There's a lot of change in that we were totally against, but feel like it's finally more or less safe to work about, as we talked before the show earlier.
They got some of the kinks worked out, basically.
Right. Well, not the kinks. There was never any kink, but it wasn't real safe.
They found some of the potential pitfalls and were able to address them.
Basically, if you would store the passwords on the computer in Google Chrome or Edge or whatever, then anybody getting their hands in the computer, whether remotely or sitting in front of it, would go to Password Manager and see all your passwords. It would just show up in plain text, and there was no security for it, whatever.
Gotcha.
Well, what good is that? If somebody's in, then they get the whole everything. So that has changed.
Okay.
And
sounds like that'll be a topic for next time.
Yeah, it'll be a good topic for next time.
Absolutely. But before we do go, if you heard all this and you're like, you know what, I got to get some computer work done, or I want to do this, or my computer's been doing this, I think I need John to help me out on this one.
Learn how to do these things.
Yeah. Or if you're like, hey, I heard you on this morning, give me some links to some places you recommend, and I'd be happy to talk to you about that.
Now, we're open from 8 to 12. Still a one-man shop.
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday. Probably not going to change. We do a special appointment in the afternoon, service calls, things like that, and, of course, get the work done.
Yeah, so if you do have, like, networks and things, John will work on those, but that's what he does them in the afternoon when he leaves the shop, because obviously you can't bring the network to him, so he's got to go to the network.
We don't go out much anymore. Networks... So don't get much calls on it.
Right.
It's not a big thing for me.
But that's something you can handle.
I can help with that, whatever, determine on basis what's going on. But don't pull any cables anymore. I have other people that I can send you to.
Okay.
That's no time for that. No, not what I want to do.
Well, that's some work is work, and you're like, I don't want to be crawling through things. And doing
I like to have the machine here most cases. So if your internet not working, it looks like computer may not be good. Bring computer in first. It's cheaper to do that than me to come out to your house. And we make sure that the computer works. We straighten those things out, figure out what it all does. And then instead of having to fight to figure all these things out for time, you don't work on it for 4 hours, but you need to download some, wait on that. You need to do something else, wait on that. And then you get interrupted with something, whatever. But, the waiting time, what we would charge half an hour for may actually time-wise take the whole morning to do, or even the whole day. So if I go out to your house and I wait on all these things. Well, I'm fine sitting there and being paid for doing nothing, maybe.
Right. But there you're working on other things.
Plus, the other thing is, if I straighten everything out, let's say that we charge that half an hour only instead of, 2 hours sitting over there, then we know that the machine works. They go home with it, they plug it in, no internet. Well, we need to know what else it is. So the next thing is make sure you call your provider because they can check all the way to your modem.
Maybe something on that end. Yeah.
And they can say, oh, you got bad cable coming in your house. You got a bad modem or the modem needs to be reset. They can do all that from their end. If then it's still not working and I ask you, plug the cables in right, and it's like, it's all good. Well, then I can go out. And then what I do sometimes, if I go out there, it's like, oh, yeah, you thought you had it plugged in, but it's, whatever.
Not quite pushed in,
the end is wrong, or it was something stupid. Literally 3 minutes to fix. Well, I definitely cut the service call in half at that point. You're
not trying to
and then
gouge
depending
you,
on how much work we did to get the computer and everything working, we just add the time on as it was at the store.
Gotcha.
So instead of prorating 1 hour at $130, we may just charge for 15 minutes when we stopped by and said, oh, that's all, but that's what's wrong here. So
yeah, because you just save brain power there.
Well, time on my end, time.
Absolutely, you can go back.
I get the answers once in a while. It would be nice to have these hours from 8 to 12. No, I get up at 4 in the morning, 4:30, and then at work I'll be there mostly at 7. Depending on what weather does and things like that.
Sure.
Or if they have a show, then I'm not there at 7.
Yeah, days like today.
I was there at 6:30 today, but then I leave. So, and then the afternoon then goes for the fixing, like we said, and whatever. So,
call Oasis if you have any questions. Probably the best way to.
Always. I don't do texting. Well, I do texting, but it's again notifications. They're turned off on my phone too. I look every end of the day, if anything happen, and say, oh, somebody tried to
You check on your
me.
time, not on their time.
Right, so the thing that I do pay attention to, the phone is always near to me. The Vonage app that we're using runs through the cell phone, so it's not my cell phone, but it's Vonage that you're calling. That's the number you see, whatever.
It directs to yourself.
You would never know if it's from the office or if I sit here and answer a phone call.
Yeah.
So that works great. So when the phone rings and I get it and I'm in the place where it actually received the phone call, if not in a dead zone or something, then I'll answer it. Or if I can't, I'll call right back.
Yeah, so leave a voicemail.
Right. And then we're at 1703 North Garden Avenue.
Yeah, right behind the Wool Bowl.
Right behind the Wool Bowl. Don't confuse it with the other street there. What's it called?
I don't know. I'm not even going to mention it.
Well, sorry, I screwed it up.
You have to get the running joke. I was notoriously given the wrong street for years there, and because my brain doesn't work that way, and so I just go behind the Wool Bowl instead of trying to guess which street.
Well,
it is.
it's
because I kept saying Atkinson's their garden.
I always say, you know where the Wool Bowl is.
Yeah,
and I'm surprised in the last couple of years I get more and more people saying, "No, I don't know where that is." I thought everybody knew what Wool Bowl is.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Now, once in a while they say I'm not from here.
Right.
Well, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, you have no idea
but,
what the Wool Bowl is.
Some people have been living here for 2-3 years, and
I'm sure
they
you've
don't
driven
know,
by it at least 20 times. And
then we go to the next thing. You know where the Institute is, the military? Yeah, I know that. Well, across from Main Street, there is the Wool Bowl thing that's over there. And if you go further east, then, if you stand on that overpass, you can see the store.
There you go.
I think if you stand on the street, you can see it.
Probably. And certainly if you're up in the bleachers at the Wool Bowl, you can see it.
Well, it depends on which bleachers you're on.
Yeah, well, if you turn around and look.
You may have to turn
around. On the
around
visitor side, you can turn around and look, yeah. But definitely, and then like you said, if the mornings for service calls, you can bring your computers in. And then one remark
on that, the people apparently start going around 10, because most every day it's between 8 and 9:30, 10 o'clock. And one person comes in or nobody, and then everybody after 9:30, 10 o'clock starts coming in, and then we can pay as much attention to you.
Very good.
So if you can be earlier, if it doesn't make any difference on your end, be there at 8 o'clock. You get better service.
Exactly. Yeah. People like to sleep in, so be the early bird and get the worm.
8 o'clock to me is midday. Like I said, I get up at 4:30.
Yeah, I tell people about coming in at 7. They're like, oh my gosh, it's so early.
No,
Dude, my day's already been going. But I get it. Not everyone is
some
like
people,
us.
Yeah.
Not everyone's crazy
Some
like
people
us.
go, Daniel was one of those. Remember Daniel?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah, he was, he couldn't make it early, never.
Yeah, no, I think that's a thing. It's just,
People are different.
Exactly. John, as always, appreciate the
Very
visit.
good.
We'll see you next time, if not sooner.
Yes.
Yeah. You never know. It is.
Hospital trash can has now won her case to have her bail conditions modified. The change will allow Alexi Treviso to attend university classes in person. Treviso is charged with murder, child abuse, and tampering with evidence over the January birth of her son. The baby was found in a trash can by staff at Artesia General Hospital. The defense alleging the child was stillborn, but prosecutors allege the boy was murdered, citing a medical examiner's report that classified his death as a homicide based on the presence of air in his lungs. The New Mexico Attorney General's office now filing an action on behalf of consumers impacted by the unexpected closure of New Mexico Solar Group, which had operated in communities across the state since 2015. Among other issues, the Attorney General's office is primarily concerned with helping in the recovery of money paid by customers for services that were never completed before the business's decision to fold. In addition to the action against New Mexico Solar Group, the office also confirms the investigations have been opened on Meraki Solar and Titan Solar after the office received a significant number of consumer complaints alleging unfair or deceptive business practices. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have some tropical air on the way, and that may bring us some showers and thunderstorms today. Partly sunny, and our afternoon highs in the low 90s. The wind will be a little gusty, around 25 miles an hour. Scattered showers and thunderstorms overnight, our low dropping to about 70, and then we'll be getting sunshine on Thursday, mid to upper 90s for the afternoon high. Maybe a few isolated showers. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street opened modestly higher this morning. The market is awaiting this week's speech by Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. He is set to speak on Friday at a Fed conference in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. In the past, some major policy announcements have come out of that Fed conference. Kohl's reporting that both profits and sales declined in the second quarter, but the results did beat Wall Street expectations as the department store chain cut inventory and expenses. Foot Locker shares fell more than 30% in today's pre-market trading after the shoe and athletic wear retailer lowered profit and revenue guidance and paused its dividend. The company that runs Dollar Tree and Family Dollar stores will pay $1.35 million, part of a settlement with the feds aimed at improving worker safety at its stores. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Pecos Valley Production, the top-rated dispensary in New Mexico with 20 convenient locations. Visit PecosValleyProduction.com to explore a wide range of offerings near you. Pecos Valley Production is now accepting donations for back-to-school supplies at all locations. Now through August 25th, Pecos Valley Production dispensaries will be collecting school supplies needed for grades K through 12, such as pencils, pens, notebook paper, binders, and backpacks. All items received will be donated to local schools and community charities throughout the area. Together, let's ensure that every child has the best possible start to a successful school year. Now go roll up to a PVP dispensary near you. PecosValleyProduction.com is dairy to dank. Support your local farmer, fresh from our farm to you. Nothing for sale for educational purposes only. 21 and older with valid
More than
ID.
50 million Americans live with chronic pain. If you're experiencing pain that interferes with your daily life, Artesia General Hospital can help. Dr. Casey Della Barca and our compassionate team of providers treat a variety of conditions, including arthritis, back and neck pain, migraines, neuropathy, and more. We offer advanced procedures and comprehensive therapy, and we personalize treatment plans to help you get back to living a quality life. Request an appointment at artesiageneral.com/pain.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Introducing the New Mexico Army National Guard. Serve your community with pride and become a part-time hero. Join our dedicated team and enjoy the adventure of a lifetime. Get full-time benefits without sacrificing your current career or education. When disaster strikes and your community needs assistance, you'll be there to lend a helping hand. So don't miss out on the opportunity to receive education, adventure, and financial stability, all while serving your country. Get started by visiting our website, nationalguard.com/NM.
Clyde Lewis and Ground Zero is now in Roswell on 106.